Yeah, I was going to say, if you posted them,
true.
I would listen.
Well, that's fair. That's a very valid criticism. So, reminders from last session. In square brackets, knife stabbed into table. Let's talk about Ulfric Stormcloak, hero of Skyrim.
Puts on Freebird at the jukebox.
Yuhnbric is eating spicy porridge.
God damn fucking straight I am.
Arnaulf and Team Khajiit, Arnaulf plus Team Khajiit and some villagers are investigating old Uncle Ursus's hut. Catclop wants to get a potion of cure common disease in case he's now a lycanthrope. Because
oh god, yes, that's a good...
It was a very good reminder to lay down, yes. I would say. And Lorenia snitched to Moralki, the local innkeep.
Snitched?
You took her gag out so that she could eat some porridge. We lost Callum. Oh no, there he is.
I'm back.
And in the brief period of time, she was all like, "Hey, yo, guys, I'm an Imperial officer. I'm being kidnapped." And when given a very easy out with which to obviously say, "No, she's a bandit,"
Alan botched it.
Well, no, botch would imply a role. Well, I suppose it wouldn't because we're not playing World of Darkness. But
you said Alan?
Yeah, Alan.
Alan.
Revere. Yeah, Bjornsson. Sorry. Totally
walked off in a rage. In a silent rage, he'd just left.
No, he didn't at all walk off in a silent rage. He just, like, quietly, in fact, quite loudly confirmed that, yeah, you're basically Stormcloaks, and that story was almost certainly accurate.
Oh, yeah.
And then the villagers went back to quietly minding their own business, whereupon he stabbed his knife into the table and pretty much went, "Furthermore," and that's where we open the next session, which is this session. So, in the interests of tempo...
When did rampant nationalism ever go wrong?
Have you all heard the tale of the Skyrim man?
Oh dear lord, this is going to end so badly.
Have you heard of our Lord and Saviour, the Stormcloaks?
It's not actually.
It's not lilty enough.
Yeah, you got to do a West Country accent, Ollie.
Alright, my lovers, have you heard the tale of our Lord and Saviour Ulfric Stormcloak, hero of Markarth?
Hero of Markarth, Lord of Eastmarch.
Whiterun.
No, he's not Lord of Whiterun.
No, not yet.
He's Windell. Windell. There we go. That's the
one.
Badger.
Wendell.
I got a piece of Badger fan mail in the post today. I was so happy. That's
what?
For a second, I thought you were just going to say, "I got a piece of Badger in the week."
I'd settle for Badger.
What happens in Sweden?
That's called a hostage situation, or someone is sending you a kidnapping note.
What kind of hostage situations have you been in?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Actually, no, sorry, Callum. You of all people can't.
Well, hey, at least I made them comfortable.
Situation. The only person I've ever seen reenact that thing where Michael Jackson dangled the baby over the windowsill. On that subject then, Revere. You're currently intimidating every villager awkwardly left in the local pub. What do?
I mean, if they're not going to do anything, I would like to try and sort of carry on intimidating them as far as I can. So I'm already stood up.
I don't know if you were, actually. I think you stabbed your knife into the table emphatically and said, "Let's talk about Ulfric Stormcloak, hero of Skyrim."
All right, can I slowly rise up?
Yeah, push your bench back and all. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, push the bench back.
Can I petition you in for us to create a new sub-channel called The Horny Zone and put Carl in there, please?
What's Carl doing?
His camera's on. Who knows?
Yeah, alright. It's never actually been this literal before, but let's just quickly put Carl in the wankers corner. Alright, cool. Callum, where were we? Revere has just pushed the bench back and stood up very
Pushed the bench back. Yeah, leaving the knife sticking in the table, looking around the room and going, "When I say future High King of Skyrim,
you say...
You say...
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Wait, I got it.
Oh! Who lives in a palace up a dragon's reach?
accept.
Ulfric Stormcloak.
The Democratic Republic.
So
Are you ready, plebs?
Ulfric Stormcloak.
So this is why I don't let you set.
Did
your
someone
own
order a
rules.
5-foot setting?
So you look around the room trying to get eye contact from any villager. No one's willing to give it to you, and eventually, Moralki kind of steps up, looks at you, and Ulfric Stormcloak, future
Yes!
High King of Skyrim, future High King of Styrofoam.
Close enough. Say it louder with me.
When I say Ulfric, you say...
Future High King of Skyrim. Yep.
When I say kill that, you say...
Atmosphere.
Elves?
Yes!
Yeah.
Would have been to
The
accept
single
anyway.
elf in the tavern.
I
Just cover your ears, you'll be fine.
gently pull Revere to the side.
That's
What
going
the
to be
fuck, man?
That's going to be a tad difficult. You're sat down with the prisoner, and he's stood up, his one paw on a knife
Well,
heavily
I'm
embedded in the
looking-
table.
I'm looking... I sort of just... I don't know. I look at him and just go,
Yeah, you can mouth what the fuck at him.
Present company accepted. You're an
Accepted.
honorary lord.
It's meant to be excluded.
You may not be a true-born son of Skyrim like I am, but you're close enough for me.
And
Moralki
you're
is-
close enough for me.
Now I'm sensing a lot of discomfort in this room.
It's the elf, pipes up one of the villagers.
What? This elf down here? Point to Yuhnbric.
Yeah, that one, says another.
Well, I mean,
Right. You go.
he's not an elf. He's a Norse. He's a Norse.
I pull out my wrench.
Pointy
Slam it on
ears.
the table.
Long living son of a bitch. Not
I'm a
from
very
round
long
here.
lord, I am.
Lord.
The peasants look amongst themselves. Moralki shoots daggers at them visually. Yeah, no, he's a Nord. We're all good Nords here. Bandits accepted. Would you like another beer? Maybe something a bit stronger.
Does he still have all of our beers in his pockets?
Yuhnbric does, I believe. They're probably at least somewhat spilled at this point, but he does still have them.
See, this is the hospitality you can expect in a true Empire-free Skyrim.
Yep.
I'm a son of
4
Skyrim.
beers, please.
Moralki rushes your booze over to you. To actually taste a bit stronger than usual. Yeah, no, that'll be, they're on the house. One of the
Thank you
peasants,
kindly.
a little bit drunk, goes to raise his voice in protest, and again, those daggers shot from the innkeep.
Can I sort of raise my glass and just say, right, well now we're all here and settled down. I think it might be time for a good song. Set some fire in the hearts. Oh!
Throw a coin for your Ulfric, though Skyrim of
Alright,
plenty.
because there is a goddamn Stormcloak song, so it's Age of Oppression.
Oh god, that sounds
Age
cheery.
of oppression under the sea.
Oh, frick,
Oh,
Storm.
United through struggle by
Smiling and
will of
dying and
the
slapping the sea.
And so begins the world's most awkward sing-along, as the one peasant who clearly knows the words is really just drowned out by everyone else singing a variety of different songs, and Moralki behind the bar, furiously polishing a glass, just desperately hoping his son's gone to bed.
Didn't his son come with us? Loot crew.
Jesus, he did actually.
Crew.
But Meralki's having a bad time.
Crew.
Meanwhile, on Loot Crew's edge of things, you've arrived at old Uncle Ursus's hut at the edge of the village. There's a little sign outside, which you can't quite make out sort of the details of from far away, but as you get closer and closer, you can see that clearly daubed on the outside of that sign is a large drawing of a bear.
Does it say best teacher of the year?
No, it's just a big snarly bear.
Nah, the best teachers get hired in Helgen.
Helgen
Sorry,
University
somewhat.
was notoriously the second best in Skyrim after the College of Winterhold, yes.
Well, looks like that. Some brains got drained, but not in the way they were expecting, I suppose.
I'm not sure you know what
I mean,
the word
beyond a
drain
certain
means.
point. Beyond a certain point, quite frankly, it's a bit obvious, and he's taking the piss.
And at that remark, you sort of open the door, which comes away quite easily to find an interior absolutely bedecked in bear furs.
Jesus Christ! At some point it stops being a medical condition and just becomes a fetish.
The villagers look over at you as one. What does... Sir, I'm not sure I follow you. It's a perfectly normal hut. Look, he's got furs for warmth.
Right, sure. Clearly. It's not like he looks like he's tried to stitch together several bears into one at this point.
Nearby, the innkeep's son, Erik, looks at you, eyes wide. You don't think that was a clue? Oh no.
Well, Erik, I think you'll make a very sharp young adventurer one day.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Can we try and keep him? I want to keep the boy, but I can't keep him.
I think you can script him into the Stormcloaks as well.
Yes.
Jesus.
Indoctrinate this boy.
He's got some merry bands
turning
going.
in his grave.
We'll stop by every village from here to Windhelm, collecting young men ready to fight and die for Skyrim. That's out of character, sorry, I'll be fair.
Is this a strange sort of harem fantasy you've got going?
That's more like religious indoctrination, Van. Not even religious indoctrination, that's political indoctrination. It's just, we are a terrorist organisation 101.
If we
We are joining the Stormcloaks.
That's what I mean.
If we don't succeed in joining them, we just pretend we are them and make our own Stormcloaks.
Was it Stormclags?
Yeah, we are the Stormcloaks.
Stormclags!
Yes. We sing and we strip.
Flag is the least... Nope, we're not going into this conversation. Right.
Stormcloaks with blackjack and hookers.
Damn you!
Forming our own rebellion to overthrow the tyranny of the Empire.
Sorry, when you say belt loops...
When I say belt loops...
I don't know. The villagers look around desperately, trying to figure out the fuck you want them to say.
When I say neon whistles...
We say strip.
Club.
Close enough.
So what were you after at old Uncle Ursus's hut? It's a fairly crude, run-down affair. The interior is strewn with an absurd amount of bear skins. There's an open journal on a small table.
For one thing, I'm going to read through the journal.
Yeah, it's...
Well, I can't read.
Sort of, you take a look at the open page, and it's a fairly desperate, I am losing my mind, and everyone I've tried to talk to about this doesn't seem to understand what the fuck I'm talking about. I think I killed last night.
I mean, if you guys wanted proof for the kill, there you
The
go.
villagers and go, so how many of you remember old Uncle Ursus's lessons and can therefore read?
Erik scratches under his chin. I remember it being more of a physical education sort of a class, if I'm honest. There was
any...
a modest amount of salmon hunting in the river, but...
I just start pinching like the bridge of my nose between the eyes, just like.
I would like to join you with that.
No, he was a very good fisherman. Was old Uncle Ursus? I was a big fan of him.
I'm sure he was. Did he use the traditional net method, the southern style line method, or by any chance did he go with the tried and true bear inspired catching the salmon out of the damn river with your bare freaking hands?
No, he was very good at that. Actually, it's a local speciality. Here, you don't think that was a clue as well? Says Erik from the rear.
My God, I think the boy's got it. I've not seen such wit and intuition since, myself. My God.
Sticks with us, and we shall refine those great detective skills.
Erik beams at the both of you.
Right, keep looking.
What are you after? There's about 6 villagers, Erik and yourselves, plus the Catclop, packed into this tiny hut.
Catclop, could you go outside, please? And could you maybe sniff around for any kind of, blood trails or anything else like that? Would be, sorry, Master Joe Wimbar, I meant. Could you step outside and look around for any blood trails or anything else like that?
I'm not a bloodhound.
I know, but quite frankly,
the villagers Sorry, you don't understand that.
I can't speak.
As the villagers visibly freak out as the giant horse cat starts growling.
That's true. Yeah.
Speaking in a different language, thank you.
All right. Okay. I'm maybe doing a bit of a bit here. I would like to turn to Zanzarim and go, right, what do you say? I'm hoping all I get back is a meow, so I can continue the bit. Meow.
The villagers.
I'd like to turn to Joe. I'd like to turn to Jomo. Right, what did they say?
Slow blink back from Jomo sounds like. If Carl says meow, I'm just going to lose my shit. I want you to know that.
Let me get Frankie so I can make this authentic.
Oh, Ewan, your webcam isn't on.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
your webcam isn't on, Ollie.
Yeah.
Oh, refresh.
You're the one that's on.
Whoa, rude. What the hell? Whoa, Ewan, you look like a carrot.
It's actually red. It looks a bit orange on screen. I wanted orange, but there was an accident.
Actually, impulsively I said carrot, but I immediately thought tomato afterwards. I thought that would be better. It's a good look. It's a strong look.
Right.
Carl, we need a reply, cat or no cat. I can hold
I honestly have no idea what's going on. I was too busy looking at tights.
Okay, so my cat is currently in heat. I don't know who's thirstier, you, Carl, or Baz.
So, essentially, I asked Dowinbar to do something.
I said, I'm not a bloodhound.
But I don't understand what he's talking about, so I turned to Zanzarim and asked him, what did Dowinbar say? He went, meow, so then I turned to you and went, right, what did they both say?
He says yes, he'll do it.
Right.
I slowly look at you.
I just shrug. I keep forgetting
for no reason.
I keep forgetting what Khajiit is called, the language. In Khajiit, Tagra. In Tagra, I would like to say.
It might be Tagra, actually.
Tagra. He wants you to search for potential trails. I don't know what particular trails for, but just trails.
I can understand him.
Catclop speaks common. He's just physically incapable of replying in common. Is the thing. So
I'm well aware of that.
Oh,
but, no one else.
So you're just patronizing. Oh, fair. Yeah, no. If you're just deliberately patronizing him, that's fine.
I just slitted eyes, shake my head.
Hey, that was valid. And a great pun.
Can I use my observe skills to try and find anything else?
What are you saying, Benji?
Sorry, can I use my observe skill to try and find anything else that might be?
Give me an idea of what you're looking for here.
Any other really obvious clues? Because there's apparently a few that he might in fact have been aware.
There is a very large bear head strapped to the wall, and underneath it is a wedding ring.
Oh lordy.
Oh no, we've got Mama Bear coming after us.
I think that was Mama Bear on the wall.
Would this room be reachable by a cat?
I'm going to investigate.
Right up next to it, and you'd almost certainly be seen by the other village. Because Arnaulf has piled in 6 villagers plus Erik, who is also a villager, in here with you into this small hut.
I'm going to turn to the rest of the villagers and go, can anyone tell me a story about that? That's a fairly... Right, pardon. Right, can anyone give me a story behind this? It's quite an impressive trophy for a school teacher to be having.
Oh, he's always been very keen on his bear paraphernalia, as Uncle Ursus pipes up one. Yeah, no, he's the village honey-eating champion. He's a good fisherman. No, he's always described them as very noble beasts. He's a big fan.
I'd just like to raise my hand slightly.
Why the massive trophy of a bear head on his wall?
Well, you know what they say: if you love something enough, kill it.
I'm sure they say.
Right. What's with the wedding ring? Anyone know that? Was he married?
No, actually, that's a curious point. Not to the best of my knowledge, he wasn't. He did wear a wedding ring, but I don't think I ever saw a wife. They look around amongst each other. No, he didn't have a wife or anything. I remember that bear. That was we killed that a few years ago. Well, I say a few years. It must have been 20 years at this point. Yeah, no, that was the last big bear. What we're eating all the cattle. We thought it was a giant at first.
I'd like to ask the villagers there. Perhaps anyone notice this Uncle Ursus become a little depressed after that?
Yeah, no, he did fall into a bit of a funk. We thought it was because he was out of challenges.
Question, was there anyone else in the village who went missing around that time? A woman, perhaps?
Was there anyone else? Oh, I don't know. No, I don't recall no woman going missing, no. Says villager number 4.
No family members for Uncle Ursus, then?
No, his mam was the last one he had, and she died, before I was born. No, she died quite young. He was just a boy at the time, as I recall. And a bear attack, actually, coincidentally. That was a tragedy, I'm told.
Coincidence.
Yeah, this sounds like a shocking coincidence. Sounds like a shocking coincidence. It does. Okay, right. Well, let's see if we can find any other subtle clues around here.
Alright, Benji, I don't know what clues you want out of me. Give me a... What do you need? What would you consider proof?
Well, I'm mostly just being sarky to these people at this point.
Oh,
I think Ewan would have liked to have known that 35 minutes ago.
Could I roll a lore test in order to convince them that all of these signs add up to the fact that there was something going on?
I think that's probably more persuade. Let's have a look.
Right, with the fact that Uncle Ursus has apparently gone missing...
Well, you killed him. You dropped his head on the bar.
Oh, yeah, that's a point, yeah. Sorry, we killed a giant bear that turned into Uncle Ursus after it died.
Yep.
Yeah, perhaps the most damning of the proof we've collected so far.
Yeah.
You actually, I don't know if you've forgotten this, but you have already convinced the village that old Uncle Ursus was the werebear.
Oh,
I think we were just checking out his residence for any signs of Daedra worship or something.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, in that case, yes, I'd like to keep looking for obvious signs of Daedra worship or any other
quite the opposite,
unbecoming things for a true son of Skyrim.
He seems to have been a devout worshipper of Talos. He still has a fairly active shrine to the god of mankind. Or the god of men, rather, for Elder Scrolls terms.
The god of men is the one who's dirty and stinking, wants everyone to be covered in manure all the time.
Writhing in the filth, yes. That is Talos' core goal, is to cover everyone in poo.
Was that because he himself became...
No, that's Namira. Namira is covered in poo all the time. Talos just wants to cover everyone in poo. I'm very good at Elder Scrolls lore.
Yes, you are.
Well, I mean, Callum hasn't corrected me, so it's basically canon at this point.
No, it's all true. It's all true.
The mirror
Yes,
is covered
so
in poo. It's kind of great.
if we can't find any signs of Daedra worship, in which case I'm going to lead the villagers outside
Leaving
and search
two
for
of the
any more
Khajiit.
proof.
Let's check in with Catclop. Catclop, what have you been up to outside?
Cat in the
Um,
You don't actually have to do anything. You kind of just been like wandering around in circles, feeling bored, if you like.
does the door close inwards or outwards?
Outwards.
I sit right in front of the door.
Okay, so on attempting to exit the hut, you find yourselves stuck. Catclop seems to have locked you all inside, thereby preventing Jomo from attempting to steal things easily, as he's still locked in there with 8 other human beings.
Right. Master Dewimbar, could you move out the way?
Comes the voice, muffled by wood, through the door.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't understand, apparently.
The villagers
I love how you're being
quail at
shit.
that fearsome roar.
Yeah, I love how you're being shitty to me, the person who's actually calling you by your real name.
I know that you can't understand.
No
I know
mettering. You don't know that he's being shitty.
No, I'm doing that as a meta joke.
No, I'm just saying.
I would like to just straight up translate that word for word.
The villagers panic. He doesn't understand. I thought you had that beast chained. Fucking Khajiit. Yeah, I bet he's gonna
Great.
steal our saddles.
You should escape out the back window.
You're what?
Well, we've got some fine horses here, and one rideable cow. Old Bessie.
I shimmy off to the side
Wait
of
a
the
minute,
door.
you shouldn't ride cows. What are you on?
Well, usually the cow.
Don't ride cows! What true son of fucking Skyrim rides a cow? Did you hear of Ysgramor and his 500 companions coming down from the north as Ysmir Dragon himself to fucking ride a cow? Would that strike fear into the Thalmor?
I'll tell you this, it strikes fear into the heart of bloody anyone who gets a cow in the face.
I mean, if you think about it.
I'm fairly old at this point, and I can tell you now that a cow is not a scary feckin' animal.
A cow is an incredibly scary animal. You grew up in the countryside, Benji. How are you not... Screed?
If a warrior need not ride warhorse, just think how good a warrior must be.
Yeah, the average cow is larger than a warhorse. They're just shorter. They have stumpier, more muscular legs. Oh
Makes
no,
them
not more
ironically
muscular.
very, very bad at running long distance.
Oh no, absolutely. But, like, so is a warhorse. They're meant for charging, not running long distances. That's why you have different horses for different purposes. I'm beginning to think you didn't even read the full Knightly Fees background. So the villagers kind of go about defending their local institution of horse riding. Cow riding. And also
I'd love to
horse
go cow riding, and I think as soon as I got on the cow, I would very fervently wish I'd never thought I'd like to go cow riding.
Right.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Right.
Right, never.
Shall we perhaps decamp back to the pub, where we can
Decamp? Back to the pub?
He said decamp, you shit.
Ah, fuck. Well, it still makes kind of sense anyway.
It's just, I hate you so much, Ollie.
Yes, whilst yours goes back to the pub, we shall see the Wimba and make sure he is okay.
The problem is he's sat outside the door stopping any of you from exiting the hut.
I do shimmy off to the side to let them out.
Yes, Catclop, after allowing you to descend into arguing within minutes of trapping you in the hut, eventually lets you out, bored and cold in the snow.
What I will say to the liar is perhaps when the obvious signs of such dangerous Daedra perversions are afoot.
Easy for you to say.
Oh, yeah, it was indeed. When the signs are there, please report it to your local authorities.
They all sort of look around, confused. Wait, which signs?
Right.
You mean
I'll
the
go over this
bear one outside?
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
that does
the
make a lot of sense.
Yeah, right.
It is
anyone
a literal
who's that
sign.
anyone who's that feckin' obvious about it should probably be reported to the local authorities for investigation.
So you're saying if someone erects a big bear sign outside their hut, we should report that? No, that's a good shout. That's probably a very clear identifying marker.
Yes, that is what I am saying. That is what you should do. Anyone who raises the sign that says "I am a bear" should be investigated thoroughly by the local law enforcement, whatever it is you've got around it.
Casually, well, actually, I'm afraid Uncle Ursus took care of most of that. We're going to have to hire a new one now, or well, I guess designate someone. As you flip through the journal, you can see page after page, which is just the letter A written in zigzagging patterns over the paper. Much of it tear-stained.
Clearly this means something, but...
It's... No, you know what? If you don't get it, I'm not explaining it. Cool. Go away outside, Laurie. So, Catclop comes away from the door, leaving you free. The villagers file out after you, which means Jomo and Zanzarim, you are unsupervised in Uncle Ursus's hut. What are you after here, Jomo, as the thumbs-owning member of the party?
Everything. How much can we fit on Jomo's back?
I mean, it is a shack mostly filled with fur, so...
Yeah. Those pelts have got to be worth something, right? And that head. The wedding ring. Cool.
Just gonna loot Uncle Ursus's shack.
I mean, if it ain't nailed down, we're taking it.
Guys are fucked up.
Where's Catclop
we should take the bear sign and just leave it.
After seeing everyone else leave, I'll go back in with them.
I see.
And I still have a spare 14 encumbrance for you guys to pile on, so feel free.
Load you up with furs.
If they want.
I mean, you haven't got a proper saddle, right? We could say we're making a saddle.
That's very true.
I think he does have a proper saddle, actually.
Oh, has he got a proper saddle?
I don't think I have a saddle. I have armor, which I guess would be fashioned in a way you can sit on it. It would make sense. I do also have some carry pouches that fit stuff in.
Yeah, you had saddle bags at the very least, so I did assume you had a saddle, but I suppose technically you don't need a saddle to have saddle bags. Sorry, I was just looking up and down the inventory thing to see if there was something for, like, furs and such. Looks like it's probably going to be blankets. Cool. So, encumbrance. You've basically got a wide variety of bear-themed paraphernalia. How many furs do you want to take? You've apparently got 14 points of encumbrance to work with.
Yes.
Good answer.
Well, do we want to try and take the bear head? I think the wedding ring doesn't matter encumbrance-wise.
It's kind of glued into the bear head trophy thing.
Ah, okay.
It's like set in with the head.
How much does the whole bear head trophy thing weigh?
It's pretty heavy. It's a big fuck off bear head. Plus that incredibly heavy wedding ring. No. So we'll call it 4 to 5 encumbrance for the bear head.
We just take that and 10 encumbrances first. Should we see if he had anything else valuable in the house? No. I ain't got no thumbs.
Any silverware?
No silverware at the Lycanthrope's house.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Makes sense.
Gold? Like, what was the, currency?
Any savings?
Yeah.
Any savings? I mean...
Or is he just trading salmon all the time?
He has vast stocks with the Bank of Helgen.
I mean,
that's the point. What's his portfolio?
Who doesn't keep their stocks at the Bank of Helgen, notoriously Skyrim's most stable financial institution, in business for over 2,000 years?
Nothing's going to happen to that.
The Bank of Helgen. The Bank of Helgen weathered the Akaviri invasion. What are you going to do? Burn it to the ground?
That's the point. We should burn this shack.
Cool. So you're going to take on the coinage front. Yeah, we'll say you can scrounge up like 10 coins, 10 silver drakes.
Fair enough. Ooh.
The only reason they're still there is he couldn't touch them.
So,
Gold drakes, yeah, that's valid point.
we still have that full set of inferior leather armor, which is taking up 6 encumbrance.
Sexy inferior.
How much is that worth per encumbrance compared to the leathers that we're getting?
Do any of you have any like appraisal skills or anything?
We're all Khajiit.
I'm sorry,
This
what?
is getting extremely stereotypical.
But also, I could just wear that armor. Like, I'm literally
What do you
wearing,
mean?
like, rags.
Yeah.
What do you mean
Now-
getting?
Now,
His body has barely been freshly bashed in.
now, I will remind you, Carl, these are Imperial leathers. It's literally the Imperial armor.
Yeah, there's an Imperial officer's uniform, in fact, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So, if nothing else, there's a decent chance that Revere will murder you in your sleep.
I mean, if they'd ever heard of cosplay.
I don't think Revere has, no.
I mean, he's a goddamn Khajiit cosplaying an Ord.
Whoa.
Don't tell
Let
him.
him see
Did
you
you just say?
Point being, young Nicholas, you have 5 seconds to make a decision. Are you keeping the armor or hucking the armor?
Well, I can't appraise it, so it's down to the higher-ups in the cast.
The higher-ups, you say?
Let's just ditch it and then burn the shack down.
Yeah, ditch it.
You
but,
burning the shack down?
Take extra leathers, yeah?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Ewan.
Yep.
Katya's asked me to ask you what she wears to work.
Katya.
Oh,
Very fabulous clothing, actually. Katya is one of the few people I've ever seen turn up for work with, like, a train in the dress sense. It's great. You see people trip up as she walks past.
I've got to admit, like, the last time I asked someone to, like, heard someone ask what they were wearing, like, that turned out into a different conversation.
In regards to a workplace.
Carl. I don't know why Carl's got the horn tonight, but in my good Christian pen and paper, how dare you?
So, is the head 4 or 5?
Been locked in this fucking house for too long,
The
man.
head is 6.
What? No,
Carl's got my mind in the gutter. Sorry, the head is 4, your Nicholas.
Thank you.
And then if you're dropping your 6 encumbrances worth of incriminating stolen Imperial leathers,
I
then
have 16 leathers.
Like, realistically, if we tried to sell that anywhere, that would just be a big old red flag.
Yeah, just a bit.
Oh, what, the armor, yeah?
yeah, that's what you're
Yes.
saying. So then you can fill the rest up with functionally their bedrolls, okay? Fur bedrolls.
Oh yeah, relatively speaking, with gold drakes, are they, like, got any separate value to regular drakes?
No, it's the regular coinage unit is everything's gold drakes because for whatever reason Tamriel is on the gold standard. I don't know why.
Because the gold standard was the standard of money for thousands of years. That's why.
No, it really, that is not how coinage works. Like, gold coins were not commonplace. Scree!
No, they weren't coins. Jesus.
No, sorry. You're being way too non-literal here. Tamriel is on the gold standard because the currency is gold, not the currency is worth gold.
Yeah, because I'm going with the real world.
Yeah,
example
you're
where
going
it
with
was
the...
just-
sorry, that just misunderstood.
But they
Yeah,
threw
you're-
they threw lots and lots of literal gold at you, not they threw money at you.
Yeah, no, this is literal gold, not just money which is theoretically pegged to the value of gold. Though gold as a metal is weirdly non-valuable in Elder Scrolls anyway. Really, they should be making the money out of like glass or ebony or something. Daedric coins.
I didn't realise
That's
rolls
like
were
it
worth
would
so
bring
much.
a problem.
What?
I don't suppose there's anything like an hourglass or something like that in here.
No, Carl. Stop just looking at the price sheet for clothing and gear. Oh, there is a magnifying glass, but it's missing the lens.
No!
No magnifying glass for you.
Any chains?
No, God.
Rope?
Any holy symbols?
Yes, actually, yes, there was a holy symbol.
You said there was a shrine, right?
Yeah, there is a holy symbol of Talos.
And how about a hunting trap? Actually, no, that's not worth the encumbrance. Forget that. How about any ink? Is there any ink?
This man carrying. He did have a
Yeah,
journal.
actually, there was ink. There was a whole stand. Benji, if you'd like to add that to your inventory, having taken it when you took the journal.
An ink bottle, encumbrance 0, is worth 50.
Yeah, there you go, Benji. You have an ink bottle and an ink pen.
Thank you.
Got to read between the lines.
Don't thank me. Thank young Nicholas.
Right.
Are there any manacles?
No. Okay, so you leave the flat, and I'm just going to assume that you're spelling it down, right? You're going to use Sunbeam to turn it to fire, to set it on fire.
We've been a bit more subtle than that. We have thumbs with us.
Yeah, thumbs
You have
is it.
one set of thumbs. Oh, you mean thumbs as in calm? Thumbs with a capital T.
Yeah.
Carry
Yeah,
on.
I've got a fire starty kit.
Oh,
Is
do
that-
you?
We don't even blast it with sunlight.
Yeah, no, fair. In that case, you arrange the remaining furs that you can't take with you in the middle of the room, and for really no reason, start a big fire.
We make sure that the Imperial leathers are, like, in the middle of all those furs.
Sure.
They'll be thoroughly burnt.
Should we do the classic Khajiit camp just outside of town and never return to the bar trick?
Yes.
Meanwhile, back at the bar,
We have extra furs to keep us warm tonight.
Arnaulf, you've just got in to find. You know what? Let's double check. So Arnaulf has just entered
Find
the bar.
Revere holding the bar at knife point.
Well, yes, exactly.
We're having
Well,
a good thing, Tom.
But Revere, yeah, what is happening when they get back to the bar? You've basically had mostly unsupervised control. The only person here who's even vaguely trying to keep you under wraps is Yuhnbric, and his sole goal is to not get murdered by either you or the villagers who might
And
murder
also
him
eat
to
the
impress you.
porridge.
I think by this point I've left the knife long behind in the table and I'm just sort of wandering around the bar, tankard in hands, keeping everyone alternately sat down or getting them to rise up in song. But ultimately trying to keep them all in place, having a good sing-song.
It is the most awkward, tragic sing-song as this scary-ass Khajiit rushes between people, like getting his face way into their personal space, like just at that 90-degree angle where they know you're there but they can't look at you.
Can I have drank we've got 4 beers.
Oh,
Can I
yeah,
have
no,
drank?
you've been
Can I have
refreshed.
drank like
You're-
all 4 of them?
You reek of alcohol. You're thoroughly soused at this point.
How drunk am I? Or I think I must have been drinking.
You're as drunk as you want to be, Ollie. Revere is getting plied with booze to hopefully...
Revere is a very sad drunk.
I will
Really, it's just making it more enthusiastic. So, as you as you enter the bar, then Arnaulf, you see that more or less. Sorry, how drunk were you, Yuhnbric?
I'm going to be medium sozzled.
Medium sozzled compared to Revere's immensely sozzled, and the various villagers aggressively and depressingly sober as they tragically sing-song to Revere's punchy tune.
Deeply-
Home of the Sky Nords.
I guess it gets literally punchy.
Tears running down my eyes.
Does it become like a literally punchy tune if like nobody starts singing along?
The feckin' hell's going on here?
Oh yeah, sorry, I can do Age of Oppression if you like. We drink to our youth, and 2 days go. The Age of Oppression is nearly done. I just want to go home. I mean, we'll drive out the Empire. Etc., etc.
In the Christ is going on here?
Oh no!
Ralki mouths from the bar. Hell.
Revere, what's been occurring?
I'm recruiting!
Are you now? And how many of these fine folks have you recruited?
Well, all of them. They haven't said as much, but they've been singing all
Why,
afternoon.
But Revere, think about this. If you recruit all these fine folks who I'm sure are proud and loyal patriots of Skyrim,
Aye, we all are.
then who's gonna feed the armies of Ulfric as he chases out the Empire invaders?
Well, our Empire slaves and the elves.
Right, but until we defeat the Empire and take those slaves, who's gonna feed us till then? If all the farmers have got off.
Well, the liberal elites.
I seriously doubt it, given what they've been up to in bloomin' Whiterun. Why don't you go over where Yuhnbric is? Why don't you go and find some furs and have a nice sleep?
But Skyrim.
It's Skyrim forever, and you've done a great job recruiting all these people, but their duties tie them to the land until here, don't they?
You hear a voice faintly from wherever I've wandered off to go to sleep. Skyrim is for the...
You're just kind of like slumped over the table where you were, one hand still firmly clutching the prisoner.
Can I try and pound my fist on a table, but the table's like 2 foot to the left of me, so it's just falling to empty air? Nords!
I'm bubbling it into my porridge.
Yes, the both of you. Skyrim is for the Nords.
And also
Why don't both of you
And also what else?
have a nice nap?
Lorenia Tullius, from her position next to Yuhnbric, shoots daggers at you there, Arnaulf. Just a non-verbal gaze of, these are your people.
Quiet, bandit.
She didn't say anything. She said it with her eyes.
Oh.
Actually,
you can still tell
Can I still say it?
yeah, you can still yell at her to be quiet as she doesn't say anything, and the nearby terrified villagers somehow get more terrified.
Skyrim is for the...
Right, like I say, come on, Revere, let's get you off to bed.
Skyrim is for the elves!
Skyrim? Wait.
Unfortunately, I don't think that they had beds here, but there is a free hut now.
Very warm. Toasty.
I will allow myself to be led out by Arnaulf.
I suppose I should go as well. I don't want to wake up.
You should probably see it from the bar by now.
Yeah, actually, as you get outside and sort of look around, the thought may be occurring to Arnaulf, where are the Khajiit? Is you see a red light against the horizon, and note just past the copse beyond which lies old Uncle Ursus's hut, his cave, as the villagers say he used to refer to it. The light of a burning building, and you smell the distinctive scent of burning bear fur, well known for its distinctive scent. Exactly like popcorn.
Well, I'm a head to sleep then. I'm to bed. It's just smaller sweet buns or sweet rolls, whatever they're called.
Sweet rolls.
I actually don't know if marshmallows exist. That's a Callum question, I think.
I don't think they do.
Fair.
It's a subject that has never come up.
Need something to stick on.
You mean on the
sticks.
test? You mean on the test law subreddit where they argue about literally everything?
Well, yes.
Yeah, I'm actually
could invent
unironically
them.
slightly surprised that marshmallows have never come up as a subject of discussion.
What's in marshmallows? Sugar and...
It's just
gelatin, I think.
Yeah, gelatin. So if you boil a horse, you'd need some horse-like animal to hand, though.
Or a cow, maybe?
I mean, there are lots of cow pieces.
No, it needs to be horse gelatin.
When were marshmallows invented?
It's like one of the things I love the most about VTM games.
2000 BC?
Wait, really?
Okay.
No, alright, sorry, pause. The fuck is up with the history of marshmallows? 2000 BC?
It's sugar, water, and gelatin. I mean, gelatin isn't hard to get, really.
Yeah, no, like I say, as long as you've got a horse or horse-like animal to hand, you can harvest gelatin.
Horse or whale or anything else. Yeah, and it's just
Don't
water and
get-
sugar.
I mean, anything with hooves, really.
I only
require sugar,
get my
So
It's not known when they were invented, but their history goes back as far as ancient Egypt, 2000 BC.
Strictly reserved for
Wow.
gods and royalty. Yeah, so there we go. Ulfric Stormcloak and Zanzarim have probably had marshmallows.
Ah, yes.
The rest of you are various grades of working class.
It's based on a plane. A plant, I mean.
Did you say plague?
Potentially.
She works for Big Health, so you know.
It's a
Good old Big Health.
Yeah, she's just trying to make you healthier, so you buy more drugs.
eat the plant.
That works.
America.
I wish I could buy more drugs.
America in Sweden.
From my other phone.
Well, I mean, you know, Sweden. What is it really? Just Norway of the East.
Is that window cat?
Sorry.
Yeah, window cat.
Oh yeah, I like
Oh,
Window Cat. You see him.
It's got windows.
Sorry, I didn't have to turn it on.
Cool. So yeah, Arnaulf, what are we doing? Where are you intending to stay for the night?
Fact. I don't have any energy for this crap. Right. I would like to pull him back into the. Is there like an outdoor stable or anything where I can cover him with furs and just let him rest?
As you go back in, sort of duck your head in, speak to Meralki, he strokes his beard a little bit. The pigs have a shitter out back if you want to throw him in that. It's warm.
Not especially Meralki, but you know.
Well, it's never done anyone too much harm, has it?
If you look around a bit, you might be able to spot the Khajiit camp in the distance.
I'll keep Revere with me for now, because who knows what he might be like.
Arnaulf, get my knife back.
I'll get your knife back, Revere. I'll get you nice and home to Bjorn.
You're a true son of Skyrim.
I know.
Just like that elf.
Right.
Big childhood flashbacks.
In which case, I'll just bed him down in a corner of the bar then.
Meralki sort of looks at you, blinking. You're not planning on just leaving him here for the night, are you?
He's never been one for the beer. He hasn't. He's always done far better with milk.
He threatened all of my patrons. I'm not super, and myself. I'm not fantastically keen on having him here, to be honest.
He will sleep for the next probably 18 hours, and then he will wake up and he won't remember a fucking thing what he's done.
That doesn't.
And
make me happy.
At which point I will take him out of your life forever.
Look, he can't stay in here.
Where would you like him to go? The now burning up that I was going to take him to?
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, I forgot. You lot don't look south, do you? I don't know why. Yes, if you look out the window, someone, and I've got a very good idea who, has set fire to Uncle Ursus' up by the looks of things.
He sort of rushes out the front, comes back in. We had all the village records in that. He was the record keeper. We've just lost all of Rorikstead's history. We don't even know when the village was founded. Oh my god.
Something about backups comes to mind.
This is a disaster. Who could possibly have done this? Every eye in the bar turns to Revere.
I don't think it was him, given he's been here the whole time threatening you.
Not threatening. Inspiring.
I revere inspiring.
Meralki looks over at you. I'm going to be perfectly honest here, sir. I'm not sure if you leave him here, he's going to be available for pickup.
I would like to drum my hands upon my axe at that comment. Alright, I'll tell you what I'll do. I will take young Master Khajiit here. I will be taking your fine Yuhnbric. I'll be taking our bandit prisoner, and I'll be leaving you forever, right? What I will need from you is for you to send word to Whiterun that we have killed the bear, right? And in exchange for that, we will be leaving and we will not be coming back. Right?
I don't know how you expect us to send word. You killed the only man in the village who was lettered.
Right, well we might need in that case, we might need to take with us a witness to the effect.
Hold on.
Of course.
Hold on. No, we have to pause here. If he's the only man who is littered, he's the one who can write. He was the one who wrote his own death sentence.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry.
If he's the one who can write
The
letters,
companion's got a letter.
companion's got a letter.
Yeah.
He must have written the letter.
I don't know if you read his journal where he was going slowly mad and wrote consecutive pages of just screaming. which Arnaulf took one look at and went, "There is a deeper mystery here."
We've received a letter from Rorikstead. It says,
Exactly.
What has your experience of this village been so far? Would you want to live here?
Dumb hicks. Like, I mean, if there was a definition of dumb fuck yokel, like, these idiots would be right there.
Right.
That's
Right.
what we call solid world building, Nicholas.
You know, I think, in fact, in that case, we'll need a witness to go with us to Whiterun. That said, I don't think anyone here wants to leave their fields or their lands. Is there anyone around who might want to come with us on an adventure across the wilds of Skyrim and see the
Totally.
sights?
Eric pipes up immediately from the back.
Yes!
Oh, yeah, no, I want to get out of here. I've always wanted to go to Whiterun. I don't think I've ever been. Not that I recall, at least. Moralki looks at his son witheringly. Eric, we've talked about this. I've seen you tie your own shoelaces together. You can't read, and if I'm honest, you're not that bright. And we don't have high standards. I'm not convinced that you're
Boy.
mature enough to go to Whiterun.
How many winters have you seen, boy?
Eric looks at his fingers, starts counting up, runs out of fingers. Lots. He looks at you, doing his best to pull a reasonable poker face, but it's...
Right. Okay. Were you alive when Ulfric Stormcloak shouted down the walls of Markarth?
God, when did that happen in Universe? Is that 10 years ago?
20 years, isn't it? We worked this out because Ulfric's
Oh, yeah.
really
oh
old.
yeah, 20 years. Marshmallows do not contain gelatin.
Ooh,
Or a plant.
I don't think so.
Ow,
You're gonna have to catch me up. Who's Ulfric?
I'm just going to turn to his father. How old's the boy?
Malky just slow blinks, desperation in his eyes. He's 18, sir.
He's old enough to go if he wants.
He's not a man yet.
He's not a man yet. I was a man at 14 winters.
Aye, and I bet you were a more capable man at 14 winters than he is at 18 winters.
And he'll never be a capable man if you keep him here.
As you gesture to Eric, he's got one finger lodged like 2 knuckles deep up his nose. Ralphie looks at you, just a note of pleading beginning to enter his tone. I'm not convinced he'll ever be a capable man anywhere, but I'd rather an idiot invalid dying old in Rorikstead than a young idiot tripping and dying the second he passes through the gates at Whiterun.
You condemn your son to
You'd lucky
shame
if the
and
saber-tooth
ignominy
came
forever
on the way.
in the eyes of our gods.
Eric coughs. Ooh. Sorry, I poked too far and it went down the wrong pipe. Still has a finger up his nose.
I'm sure that either where he chooses to go from Whiterun will be the making of him. Hey, maybe he'll even choose the Legion, the making of me. I'd like this wink just across to the bandit.
Lorenia Tullius looks back at you witheringly.
Oh my god, you taught Baz how to fly.
I'll show you the world. Shining, shimmering cat. Who the fuck goes into heat in September? I
I know, if it's an Indian
that's
style.
true. Carl goes into heat in September.
It's pretty much a constant effect. It's more like, you know, how Bruce Banner's like secret for not becoming the Hulk because he's angry all the time. He just chooses to let it out every now and then.
That's my secret, Cap. I'm always horny.
Exactly.
Oh dear. Ralki sort of sinks backwards, slumping up against the wall. Well, I can't stop you taking him, and he's keen to go, so... Erik, promise me you'll be home soon. Erik looks back at his father and somberly just replies, I'll be back before this many days have gone. He holds up both hands. Erik, you need to use fingers, mate.
Oh, I actually popped my ear laughing there.
Right, come on, Revere. Come on, Yuhnbric.
I'm gonna hug the slave goodnight.
Let's leave these fine people.
I'm hand the chain over to you. Hug the slave goodnight. Hug Revere, and then I'm going to I'm gonna find a place to just snooze. If there's not a place to snooze, then I'm gonna follow for a little while.
Yeah, I think it was heavily implied that anyone who stays here is at the very least going to be mugged heavily.
Yeah, I don't want to be mugged heavily. Most likely, and even then.
I'm taking you away.
Would be preferable.
Mugging me gently with this song. Cool, so yeah, you follow Arnaulf outside. Arnaulf, where are you going for the evening?
I'm going to go track down the Khajiit that I know are going to be off.
Yeah, it doesn't actually take too much to find the Khajiit. You're kind of familiar with their modus operandi now. When they bugger off, it means they're slightly off the beaten path, but ultimately vaguely in the direction of where you wanted to go anyway. So it's no longer than half an hour before you find the Khajiit bedecked in fur. Even Catclop is just covered in a small tent.
I mean, fucking hell, guys. Could you not? For 5 minutes.
Khajiit has wares if you have coins.
Zanzarim is wrapped up in a cone of furs so heavy that you can only just see his head.
You've got you're 2 foot taller than normal, just because you're just stacked up and it's curled around you.
Fluffed it up near my neck like a little mane.
Okay. So, what are your intentions now, guys?
What are your intentions?
Yeah, what are you wanting to do?
I'm sorry, I have attention deficit disorder.
I am going... Right.
Wally.
Revere, Arnaulf, Revere, Yuhnbric, why don't you find some furs for yourself, get yourself comfy and down for the night. I'm going to make a fire. And I'm going to stand watch. Because quite frankly, I'd be surprised if I would be honestly surprised if people from that village didn't come to try and lynch us. By the way, this is Erik.
I would be surprised if I could stand right now, but...
Erik,
they wouldn't lynch us. They're our friends.
Erik waves one hand from behind Arnaulf furiously. I'm Erik.
Dunmer raises a paw and just...
That's kind of like my name. That's my name.
That horse there is looking a bit weird now.
That's Dunmer or Catclop, depending on what he prefers.
Seize Arnaulf. Even these idiots would think that we got these fucking bear pelts properly.
I turn to Chomo and go, boots?
Hey, Erik, what kind of boots you got?
My pride and joy is my boots. And then he just kind of
I would just like to thumbs up.
Space.
Just wink.
I'm going on an adventure.
I'm sure they are your pride and joy, and I'm sure that those boots will stay with you for many a year, won't they, gentlemen?
I just blankly stare at him,
Yeah, 3 unblinking Khajiit faces stare back.
What happened to the last pair of boots in the party? Own man.
It was a terrible accident. Right, so, Erik, me lad, how do you feel about politics?
Eric,
Can we time skip to the morning after?
Eric scratches his
Well,
chin.
I need to stay awake because I'm going to watch.
Yeah, no, we can consider time to have spun on a little bit. The Khajiit have reluctantly gone to sleep in positions which guard their assorted furs and loots. Arnaulf, Revere and Yuhnbric have collapsed drunkenly, but you may stir at your leisure if you really wish to. So it's pretty much just Arnaulf and Erik up by default.
I would like to make sure that Revere has got plenty of blankets.
Do you have any blankets?
That's
Well,
my
we've
own
got
heart.
furs.
The Khajiit have furs. I don't
I
know
will
if they're
take some of
necessarily
those
willing
furs.
to share.
We are if you pay us.
Yeah, you got money?
You can rent them.
10 gold a night.
Right, considering you lot owe me for doing a lot of the work on that fucking bear, hands
We
off.
do most of the work.
Yeah, we did most of the damage on that bear.
You can speak common, so you can't exactly argue back.
I'd
That
like
is
to
true. I'm just
translate.
looking at you.
How have you
angrily.
know? I landed the killing blow on the bear.
I'll have you know I tried.
steal.
I bashed that thing's head in and I cried like a madman.
Fair is fair.
Eric
Hand over
sits
the
down.
blanket.
Eric sits down at the edge of the circle. His name was Ursus, not Bear. They're different words. They mean different things. They don't mean to be persnickety, but that is the case.
Persnickety. 4 syllables. Congratulations, Erik.
Aye, what the boy said. Right, in any case, just make sure Revere over there, your fellow Khajiit, has plenty of furs so he's warm.
We are also furred ourselves, so really we don't need these things.
And so the argument goes. Unless there are strong objections, it looks like Revere is sleeping in his armor tonight, and little else.
I'll give him the blankets from my my kit, my camping kit then.
Okay.
I'd feel guilty. I feel I'd never be able to face Bjorn again if I let his son go cold in the night.
So otherwise, it's late at night, you've got the embers of your fire. The villagers, you did hear what might have been a lynching party, but it seemed to get lost in the woods around Rorikstead, and eventually meandered back sometime towards dawn. You've dozed off a couple of times, just a little bit, to get some rest in. Eventually broached the subject with Erik, who seems quite happy to stay up the whole night with you, of politics. And he thinks for a little while, staring at the dying embers of the small fire you started and kept banked low as the dawn begins to creep across the sky. I'm afraid I've never eaten politics. He pokes the fire thoughtfully.
If you offered a choice between following a man who kowtowed to the Thalmor, to the historic enemies of our people, or a man who, seeing the ruin that would come to Skyrim, decided to take action, who would you follow?
Well, if I'm honest, I'd rather go home. I don't like following people around. That's a bit creepy.
Right, okay. But if both of them asked you for help, who would you think about supporting?
Well, what do they want help with is the core question there, really. I'm alright moving furniture for a lad, but Oh, and in quests as well. I'll kill a monster.
Right, they both need you to slay different types of monster.
Well,
they're monsters that have inhabited the art of the true people of Skyrim, but monsters nonetheless.
No, I'll slay every monster. But in priority order, of course. So I help first one, then t'other.
Right. Which one would you help first?
Well, I suppose it depends who asks me first, really.
Right. Well, I have a feeling that a man named Ulfric Stormcloak will ask you first, given that King Torrig will probably have a few issues asking you for your assistance, just at the moment.
He scratches his beard a little bit, his little wispy 18-year-old beard. Stormcloak? What, did he fart a lot or something? I'm not sure I understand that one.
It's just a name. It's you know how people get around the pub. They give silly names to people, and everyone laughs.
Ulfric farts a lot. I find that quite funny.
You're gonna go to sign up and he's gonna get executed.
Oh, if only Revere was conscious right now.
We don't need another body.
So long as we get his boots. Yeah.
Your sole
We have
prerequisite for should we murder this person cannot possibly be do they have boots.
I think it is.
I mean, it is, but it shouldn't be.
I mean, like, we could go for pantaloons as
Right,
well.
here's a question.
When we wake up in the morning, where are we going just back to? Was it Whiterun?
Yeah, we're heading back to back to Whiterun. Here, Erik, me lad. When your father told you great stories of the past, stories of heroes, of great deeds done, monsters slain, princesses rescued, that sort of thing, of who did he tell you?
Says Erik. Almost as though
Did he speak of Braze's Grimoire? Did he speak of the Great Ymir, Dragon of the North? Did he speak of Talos Stormcrown? Did he speak of a whole number of heroes?
Oh yeah.
Did he speak of Jurgen Windcaller?
I'd say all of them, really. I read all the heroes, yes.
Right. And of all the heroes, which one is your favourite? Which one do you seek most to emulate?
Did he just say he reads them?
Yes, he did say that. Well, I've never been much of a one for emulating heroes, really. I've never punched an elf, although he looks at Yuhnbric's sleeping form.
Yes. Do it.
One second, I'm going to dispose of this cat for a second.
It's a press, yeah.
Instantly.
Who would be your favourite
Do you guys mind if I call?
heroes of the tales?
Do you mind if I call pace on the conversation?
Yeah.
Fair,
problem.
extremely fair. So you basically are running up against a little bit of a brick wall here. Erik is dumb as a bag of bricks. He's very enthusiastic for pretty much everything you suggest to him, but he's just not getting what you're putting down here. And so the conversation goes on into the night.
I'd like to ask one more question, if it's possible, and it will be a quick one.
Yeah, shoot. You're not going to do travel time on the way back to Whiterun. You have no interesting things on that journey.
Right, so, Erik, me lad, have you ever heard a rumbling within you? A deep, meaningful rumbling when you've read a word, that you know that if you could just say it in a certain way, you could change the world?
I have burped rather dramatically, yes.
Right. Well, I've got something to show you. I would like, while we're on the way back to Whiterun, to show him my carving, or my relief, rather, of the word foos. I wish to try and attempt to train him to be a tongue.
He does not have the mental fortitude,
I just wanted to give it a try.
nor
to see
frankly even the basic understanding of ordinary grammar. It is a miracle that he speaks Imperial. Like, the fact that he's bilingual is...
If he can say persnickety, he can say a word.
Persnickety is a perfectly valid word. Lots of people say persnickety. I say persnickety all the time. I'm saying persnickety right now.
Yes, he's saying it a lot.
Persnickety. Point being, you sort of do your best to get across the image of the Thum to him, and he just doesn't grok it, frankly. The rest of the transition back to Whiterun is a relatively fast one. It takes you a couple of days, but you've got what you feel is your proof. Let's move Team Nord south on the map and bring
by any chance, is there like a way to magically detect wereblood?
Oh god, yes.
Yes, actually. Fuck, what is it? It's a fairly simple spell. Oh, you don't need to detect it, in fact. It manifests as a common cold, I believe.
Oh, well, no, I mean, as if they ask, like, oh, you could have just been saying shit and made this up. I'm like, well, we got some blood from the fucker.
Imagine like one thinking of the common cold.
With due science, yes, you can determine if something has the... I forget the exact name for the disease. It's porphyria, something rather for vampires, but I don't remember. It might just be called lycanthropy. Lycanthropy, rather, for wares, but I don't remember if that's for werebears as well.
Imagine thinking you have like a cold.
But the companions are unlikely to have that test. Or at the very least, they are unlikely to admit that they have that test. Sorry, Ollie.
Okay, then.
I was going to say, imagine thinking you have a cold and one day you sneeze and turn into a werewolf.
And then
Do I develop a cold on the way back?
It's a very good question. Roll your endurance for me real quick.
No, so you won't even know. You may just wake up one day as a vampire or a werebear.
Oof.
Nah. Lucky number?
That's what I'm hoping for.
Not a lucky number, and that's...
Oh, it's my unlucky number. I mean, that doesn't do anything for you, but...
No, it does not. If it's straight endurance as well, that's 3 degrees of failure exactly.
Yeah, you actually are feeling a bit ill.
Luckaroo.
Oh my.
It's okay, the journey's only taken 2 days.
Well, I suppose, do you have any potions of cure like disease?
I do not.
Do you not? I swear you had one in your saddlebags that you stole.
No. I have, as listed, one blanket. We're now out of rations, so I don't know how that works on the last day. I guess we go hunting.
I think you probably stole a monumental amount of spicy porridge.
Oh, fair enough.
Or requisition, rather.
Porridge.
I have
Just Yuhnbric carrying 8 bowls precariously balanced the entire
What's
way.
the-
Yuhnbric had a big old, like, squidgy sack filled with spicy porridge.
my armor.
It's
Oh,
brave.
wait, we have three random scrolls, 2 random first level scrolls, and 1 random second level scroll, and 1 chest, and a bear's head with a wedding ring, and and 16 fur bedrolls.
We also have some potions and some ingredients.
I'm very happy for you to, like, expend one of your random level 1 scrolls and say that was a cure-like disease situation.
Here. But yeah, the potions wouldn't have, like, we've got health potion, replenishment, and rejuvenation, which are magicka and stamina, respectively.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I looked up the magic potion and it gives you like 2 mana back. Fuck the mana potions in
What?
this game.
What?
Fuck them so
Two-
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure the strongest mana potion might give less than 10. It's something ludicrous.
What?
That's ridiculous. GM, please.
Yeah. Can you make it easier for me to get
Yeah,
mana
just,
back?
like, times that by a factor of 10, whatever it says. It's a potion. It should give you a chunk back. Like, it's not like you can pause time in the pen and paper version. What? Scream.
Cool. So we're expending one level 1 scroll.
Yeah, just expend one of your level 1 scrolls, and we'll say that was a cure-like disease.
Yay.
Yeah. So at the moment, the potions of mana can go up to spell strength 7.
Like,
So,
yeah,
up to level
that's
7, and you get
truly
double
awful.
that magicka, which is 14 at that.
Like, woo fucking hell.
Yeah, just times the magical points it gives you back by 10. I'm not giving you
actually,
14 for level 7.
Have I got my... I'm down 20 magicka points from,
Regen
like...
your magicka unless you're an H-Orc.
Go.
He is an H-Drunk.
Am I? No, I didn't. I changed
Creed is an
No, I
H-Orc. Ollie's not. So, otherwise the transition back to Whiterun is relatively smooth. Erik proves to be a very sincere, earnest, and utterly clueless individual. You even pass the decaying corpse of... oh no, you don't pass the decaying corpse. You pass the bloodstain where you murdered John Battleborn. Canon character of Skyrim, as I recall. No,
did
he
do
is.
that.
And I feel like I'm echoing on someone. Who is that? Ollie? Oh no, it's your Nicholas.
How? I don't understand how it works. I really don't. There's nothing I can do.
That's your career in a nutshell, mate.
What career?
Oh. He turned it back on me.
Emotional
It's too
whiplash from
savage
that.
now. I didn't mean... So, yes, the transition's relatively, well, not quick, but it's simple. Erik is very sincere, very genuine, and very much okay with whatever. As you pass that bloodstain, he comments, "It must have been a big moose that left Atten. Looks like they damn near split its head open." The Khajiit had just about talked down from murdering him for his boots, which turn out to be not nearly as high quality as he seems to think they are. and you work your way through the majority of the spicy porridge, with the rest going thoroughly off in those blistering Skyrim winterish days. You know, Tamriel global heating.
Memories made, etc., etc.
Whiterun is much as you remember it. It's a bit tenser, I suppose. The guards seem somewhat more on edge. You're stopped at the gate. Fortunately, the same guy who let Catclop through before is on duty this time, and flicks him like a little used bone from his lunch. "Oh, he's a big doggo, really, isn't he?" he says, stroking Catclop's back. "Come on, get through, mate."
Take scratches very, very, very eagerly.
Your party passes through the gates. The other guard remarking as you finish going through, "Here, John Battleborn's looking a bit different nowadays, isn't he? Seems tired and uglier." Erik as he walks through. "I don't know what a Battleborn is. I was born in a barn." Actually, don't know what Eric's second name
Strange
is.
you met
Nah, it's him. Oh, I thought you said that about Erik.
It might be frost fruit. Oh, sorry, I stand corrected. Per Skyrim's actual gameplay, because you have convinced him to become an adventurer, he's currently styling himself, and he was very clear about this on the trip over, as Erik the Slayer.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Hero of Skyrim.
Oh, we brought him to join the companion, so you know.
What a lad.
And he can go off trying to do his own mission. Or he'll get killed in the first trial of just fighting one of them.
Oh, wait, no, I don't want to spoil anything. No. In case Ewan has something planned.
Well, I'm curious now.
Quick, give me content. I need it.
Hold on a sec. Let me just speedily read Eric's
Execution up.
Summary execution. I.e., his first round of combat against a rat.
Smashed flat by the Dunmer in the mask.
Is there some sort of unwritten law or some sort of law I haven't read yet?
That's Dunmer's revenge.
Oh yes.
His character dies.
Rocks fall, and he just dies from nowhere.
No, he doesn't seem to be involved in anything. No, I'm probably not thinking of whatever clever thing it is you're thinking of, Callum. Cool. So yeah, what are you doing? You've arrived back in Whiterun. You've got a couple of quests to hand in, functionally.
Let's go hand the quests in. I'm not going to go with you to the companions, though. They do not like elves, and I'm, an elf.
Truly
As you're walking up the street, you notice a nearly naked, incredibly muscly Nord outside the War Maidens, one of the blacksmiths.
Oh shit! I want to go to the mate.
Is he just making a load of daggers?
He's furiously making leather. Next to him is a huge pile of raw resources and leather straps.
Nice.
Does my magic detector start going? I know I haven't built that yet, have I?
You have not built that. Also, it wasn't a magic detector, it was a temporal/spatial
That was it,
anomaly detector.
Yeah. I actually do want to go to whilst they're going off to the companions and having these quests in, I'm going to go meet up with my good friend, the Forge Master.
Yes. Hold on a sec, I need to remember characters. Everyone's eyes roll over.
I don't think I actually I can't remember what he asked me to do, though.
He asked you to get a
He
large
needed
amount
lots
of
of
money, and you've got exactly 0 money. In fact, you're technically slightly poorer because you have spent on supplies and lodgings and such, and also your equipment's a bit worn.
Maybe we'll be getting some money from these quests, and the party will give me a share because I helped them all.
You're not on any of these quests.
I was totally on all of these.
You're literally in the middle of like two like main sides of the party, and then you're right in the middle. You have the companion side, the Nords. You have the Khajiit, and then we have you.
Oh.
Well,
boys.
guys,
He's actually being pretty aligned with Team Nord.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to know
I-
why, but he is.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
Yeah, no. So you sort of rush off up ahead, get through into the Cloud District, no problem. And what's the guy in question? You find Vignar Greymane at the Skyforge. Forge. He looks a bit haggard to you and gives you a half-hearted wave as you approach. Oh, cool. Sorry, no. Vignar doesn't look haggard. I was thinking that his nephew had just gone missing, but his nephew hasn't. Yeah, Vignar looks up at you as you approach, gives you a hearty wave. I forget quite what accent I gave him, so he's just getting gruff West Country in
The
a
standard.
shocking turn of events. Yeah. Hello there, my lover. How are you doing?
Wait, is he talking to me? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I was too busy looking at the cat.
Yeah, no one else. Is there.
I'm doing all right. I haven't got the money, so yeah.
He gives you a shrug. I'm sorry, friend. Best get at it. What?
Do you know anywhere around here I can make money? Say what's that muscly human doing over there?
That's like way down in the Plains district.
Oh, was it? Sorry, I thought he was up there.
Warmaidens. Sorry, I just kind of low key assume everyone remembers the geography of Whiterun, which is not fair. Warmaidens is the armory, like right next to the town gates, whereas the Skyforge is up in the Cloud District. We're not. You've gained permanent entry to the Cloud District at this point, I believe.
We're not going with the hoi polloi. We're hobnobbing with the important people.
Yeah, you've to the
okay.
chagrin of the guards.
In which case, then never mind. So I was just asking, is there anywhere around here I could make money? Maybe not necessarily your forge, but do you know of any ways I could quickly make the amount of coin you've asked for?
Can't say quickly. I hate to sound preachy, but perhaps get a job of some kind.
My good sir, I am an adventurer. Do I look like I can have a job?
What money do you make adventuring?
Currently none.
But I'm seeing a slight
what
flaw in
counts
your
in-
business model.
Okay, no worries. I thought you might offer me a quest or something where you could point in the direction, but if you can't, then I'll just bid him farewell.
I'll just double check Vignar's. No, Vignar's aggressively apolitical. He scratches his chin. No, I mean, maybe a few days ago you might have had better luck. Unfortunately, there's been this large, almost naked man running around town, taking odd jobs from damn near everyone. Strange fella. But he gets the jobs done, and then demands payment immediately, usually presses for more. Rude as all fuck, but he'll do everything from minding your cows to punching a giant in the face. It's been an odd week, I'll tell you that much.
He sounds like a well-rounded individual. Tell me... Actually, no, it'd be too meta. In which case, I guess I thank him, and I go to join the party, I suppose, if I know where they are. If not, I want to go back to that lady who had the broken well.
It's not broken anymore. You sort of rushed on ahead a little bit, but they were heading up. Let's ask the party. Were you going to the companions first to turn in your heroic quest? Or were you going to someone Battleborn? Someone Greymane. It was Ursus Greymane?
I'd say the
Eorland.
companions.
Yeah, companions first.
Yeah, you,
I think with the Khajiit, we Khajiit's not going to try to barter with the not Dragonborn.
Yeah, let's try and sell him our bear furs.
stop off in the Plains district. And I don't know what you mean by not Dragonborn. You're going to be more specific.
the big half-naked burly guy.
The naturist that we keep seeing around.
Oh, that lad. Well, I mean, you're correct. He's not the Dragonborn. The Dragonborns have been extinct for 200 years at this point.
Of course.
But yes.
The Dragonborn have been extinct for 200 years.
I've always hated you, Ollie. I want you to know that.
You've always treasured my company, and you just say you hate me because you can't form a real attachment to me that you won't say out loud. It's alright, I know you love me too much.
I don't think that sentence meant what you thought it meant. But,
You love me too much, and you can't admit it to yourself, and that's fine. I know I'm a lot to love.
I'm gonna throw this beard oil right at your face, and it'll hit you right through the webcam. That's a power
Do
I
it.
have.
Fucking do it. Fucking do it.
I've just done it. It'll be with you in 2 to 8 weeks, because Swedish Post sucks.
Oh, can you send me some? I ran out recently.
No.
I actually
My
need one.
beard oil, and I just threw it at Ollie. So, in that case, we'll have Yuhnbric coming back round the corner, just about the point that Arnaulf and Revere rock on up to Jorvisker, where you find Ayla outside, just quietly restringing her bow. Looks up at you as you approach, squinting a little bit. Ah! The conquering hero's back already. What can I do for you?
Well, you can give us our next stage of our quest, because one bear, very dead. Also, it was kind of, sort of not a bear.
Oh,
Well,
I
it was
see.
mostly a bear when we killed it.
Well, when we killed it, it was a bear, and then it stopped being a bear. That's very true.
Ayla blinks. What, it was a Daedra, or...?
Nope, where? Maybe someone got their wires crossed.
A werebear?
Aye. I would be more skeptical, but given the thing was 5 meters tall, and when we cut its head off, it turned back into a man, fairly sure it was a werebear.
She looks between the two of you, her eyes taking a slightly steely glint on. I see. And, how did it die?
Painfully. And slowly.
Well, not that slowly, to be fair. I mean,
I
mostly
think it was slowly.
it got knocked to the ground, it got mauled by, basically us, and then we sort of stabbed it quite a lot.
Slower than it deserved.
That's an appropriate fate for werebeasts, wouldn't you agree?
Hello,
I mean, yeah,
werebeasts.
yes. I mean, I don't know what other thing you would say about them. The spawns of Ursine and all that, you know. Filthy Daedra beasts.
It's just not Nordic.
Exactly.
Ayla seems to bristle a little bit for some reason, but quietens down rapidly. Well, you've passed stage 1 of the quest, but we'll be having to give you a slightly more difficult one for the second part of your initiation. Now, do you have any proof for me as to your kill?
Right. We brought with us a local witness.
Erik ducks out from behind. Hello, my name's Erik the Slayer, the Witness.
Yeah, this is Erik.
I'm Erik,
a very
the Slayer,
special
the
boy.
Witness.
He's a very special boy. Or, sorry, he's a very special man. 18 winters, you know.
He's a proud boy man of Skyrim.
Erik holds up 10 fingers at that one.
I would like to whisper to Ayla, just lean forward and whisper to Ayla, yeah, look, I know, but he's the only one we could get at short notice. And as it turns out, the werebear was the only one who could feckin' write. Who knew?
No, they stomped into my village, they murdered the school teacher, and brought his head back to the bar. And then we came here.
Yeah.
Ayla sort of looks between the two of you, confused, unsure.
I would just like to start shaking my head and it's like, oh god.
Now that's
She
technically true.
She raises an eyebrow. I see, so he was a school teacher and the local man of letters. And you killed him very painfully. I see.
The time in the form of a 5 meter tall bear
Do you perhaps...
that was attempting to murder us.
And, meaning no disrespect to yourself, Mr. Erik, but Master Erik the Slayer the Witness. Yes, Master Erik the Slayer the Witness. Do you perhaps have any other evidence for me of your deeds? An awkward silence descends on the outskirts of Jorvisker.
Have we got have the Khajiit with us, by the way?
No, they
We're
stopped.
currently selling a werebear head at the market.
Yeah.
Right, actually, that's a point. We can, in fact, bring over, or later locate, the rest of our travelling companions who are carrying the head of an extremely large bear.
We might
that we
need
took
some
from the
coin.
wearer's We took from the wearer's house after we brutally slayed it.
Actually, you did cut its head off.
Yeah, but it turned back into a normal human head.
And then you left it on the bar.
We did leave it on the bar.
Oh my
diary.
Does someone want to do like a 6-day round trip?
No.
I'll
What was
be
that,
right
Carl?
back.
What was that, Carl?
I mean, there was a wordy book that you took.
I forgot.
Ah.
We took the journal from the. Yes, I just remembered from some distant memory that suddenly swam to the fore of my mind for no readily apparent reason. We took from the aforementioned werebear a journal. Here we go.
You hand it over to Ella, and she starts flipping through it. Seems he lived rather a full life until the later years. God, they really need to stop shagging their cousins over in Rorikstead. Meaning, no offence, Mr. Erik, the Slayer, the Witness. Erik looks back at her, blinking one eye at a time. No offence taken. No, my parents were married, and they were cousins, and their parents were cousins. It's a very small town, is Rorikstead. Your marriage options are limited.
I mean, at this point, like, who isn't their cousins?
And therein lies the rub of a setting based on the West Country, Carl. Oh, dear. Cool. Meanwhile, down at the market... Not even at the market for the Plains District, that's a little bit further up. Literally outside War Maidens. Catclop, Jomo, and Zanzarim Zahir. What are we doing?
Presuming that the other Khajiit are with me on this, I would like to stroll up to our old friend. It would seem you crafting. Well, just as it happens, this Khajiit has wares if you has coin.
He continues making leather, scraping away at this exterior thing. In fact, as you observe him, he's almost transparently not making leather. He seems to be doing one very specific part of the leather-making process over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to appeal to we have the bit that you make the leather from, or the straps.
Yes. The issue isn't, called, your pitch.
He's probably trapped in the interaction right now.
Know what you mean?
I don't know what you mean.
He's just very, very dedicated to his arts.
He's just very dedicated to his arts.
Only you were a key NPC with the quest.
Don't know what you mean, young Nicholas.
I don't know what you mean, young Nicholas. It's not
Offer
like...
him a job!
I has a quest for you to buy my stuff.
He seems to just stop mid-action, turn to you awkwardly.
Stop picking out the controls
A
yet.
quest, you say?
Indeed.
What scale of quest are you offering?
D rank.
He stares at you, confused for a moment, almost as though he were picking very specifically what to say next. Okay. Give me more details.
You must purchase these bear hides at 30 coins a hide. In exchange, you shall get one with a head. This bear head could be exchanged for the companions.
And you're not quite sure how this happens, but the two of you enter into barter negotiations.
I feel somewhat violated by the sudden takeover.
Okay, that'll be a God, I've forgotten the word for it, but a competitive roll.
Persuasion?
No, it's an opposed.
An opposed
commerce.
roll.
Thank you, opposed. It's an opposed commerce.
Shit, what does commerce roll off?
Personality. Persuasion is a skill, not an attribute.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, yeah.
DOS?
3.
Less than 3 DOS. Cool. Yeah, no, you enter into persuasion, and it lasts a solid couple of hours, and at the end of it, you have been negotiated down to 30 septims per bearskin. He looks at you. I will be back when I have the money.
Put a time limit on the quest.
Walks over to his leather straps and begins piling them one after the other into a sack.
Quick, I would like to try and really quickly with my thumbs remove the ring from the pelt with a head.
It's kind of glued on there, so you can do it, but you'll need to you're not going to be able to just palm it off, basically. Cool. So, Team Khajiit, what are we doing?
While he's filling his sack, I would like to notify him that he could find us at the local inn to complete the transaction. And that if he does so in a timely manner, preferably before, actually, what time of day is it currently?
We'll say midday.
Okay, so if he can do so before nightfall, we shall also offer him a chance for Ursine powers to go with these bear skins.
He nods. I shall come at a dusk. And then just
Typical, I didn't specify this nightfall, did I?
No, I think you did.
Okay.
Just not what he said back to you.
Yeah. Because, you just, you know how it's that sort of thing where it's with their schedules, come to me at night. It doesn't matter what night you go.
That's in the video game, though. And he's not no one's playing the video game.
No. I have a quest for you.
Because none of you would exhibit that behavior.
No.
So, meanwhilest, back at Team Nord and Associate, what do?
Well, any ideas?
I think we're going to need to pay the Khajiit.
Oh, sorry, I don't know if Ayla said, but she intended to have you come back in a day or so, and she'll give you part 2 of your quest. The part that you really earned.
Oh, okay. That's fine by me. Well, I guess in that case, then, we better go and get ourselves in contact with the with the white cloaks? With the storm cloaks. Get ourselves inducted into Stormfront.
Right. See, it's where you cut yourself
apparently
off.
we're coming into work with the KKK. Whoa!
Yeah, we just need to get in with the whites.
It's not like Skyrim isn't already racially charged anyway, so I think it's probably...
The in-universe Nazis are the Thalmor, for the record. Which, I guess, technically it's the pen and paper, so they're theoretically a joinable faction if you happen to be a high elf. And a purebred high elf at that.
I'm better than those fucks.
Looking around. Nope. No, don't think any of us qualify.
I am better than
Skyrim's for the Thalmor.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm better than the Thalmor. You've got an unknown Dwemer amongst your group.
The abrupt heel turn from Revere. Skyrim for the Thalmor.
Rejected
I like
by
how
the Stormcloaks, he
in-game
became the very
costume
thing
makes
he
them look
swore
a
to
bit
destroy.
like wizard Nazis.
When the Stormcloaks are too
Yes,
tame.
that is intentional, guys, because they are. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, where are you going?
I don't mind, Revere. Any ideas? Oh, wait. Yeah, sorry, you were saying go and see. What were they again?
The Greymaids.
The Battleborn. Greymaids.
Aye.
Nope, we killed the Battleborn.
No, we didn't. The Battleborn died in a tragic accident where he's not like you, Erik, is he? Erik, you're a smart boy. You don't go wandering off. And
Oh shit, Eric's here.
yeah, you don't
Erik.
go. You stay by the fire. You don't go wandering off in Sabretooth country, do you?
Erik
Where you
nods.
turn around,
Yeah,
he's already
no,
wandered off.
I don't go wandering around in Sabretooth country. I'll be honest, I've never left this country, let alone gone to any other country.
You don't need to go to any other country.
Your relationship is so thick, you could probably just talk about this normally. He wouldn't have any idea what the fuck you're talking
Yeah,
about.
I realised we'd be travelling for several days, Erik, but I forgot that your presence in the party.
I tell you what, Erik. Have you ever had a
Not-
true
I am
proper
just the
weapon?
shadow.
You ever had a true proper weapon?
That's a very
That's a
personal
very
question.
good question. Yeah, no, he's got a particularly fearsome fruit knife.
Right. Well, while my friend takes the tragic news of our previous travelling companion's death off to his grieving family, why don't I take you off and see if we can't find you a proper first time sword and get you some practice in with it?
I'm gonna lie.
Sorry,
for a second I was thinking of
no,
find family.
You're giving Revere and Yuhnbric control. Nope, that's fine. All right, so you take Erik
Well,
off to go.
I'm giving Revere control because I think I've RP'd quite a lot and I was going to give Callum something to do.
Fair. So yeah, you take Erik off to the market to buy him a weapon other than his fruit knife. It's a very good question. Where is the captive? I think Yuhnbric kind of seemed in charge of her.
That was a mistake.
We would probably leave her with Revere, given we're probably going to hand her off to this guy, given he's probably got Stormcloak contacts.
That's very
Make
good
sure
point.
you get my rope back.
Oh yeah. The most important part.
I don't think they're even slightly concerned about you getting your rope back.
We're really not.
Silk.
You left them to like freeze in the cold when you had so many furs your cap was a half meter off the ground.
For multiple nights.
No, we didn't freeze because, as you remember, both me and Revere have camping kits, full sets of camping gear. So
Very true.
we have
I'm also
blankets.
head to toe in fur myself.
Yeah. Some of us prepared for being wandering vagabonds.
I mean, I've got a tent and a bed rope, and all that jazz.
I've got a blanket.
But yes, I was going to let Callum. I presume we'd take them off to the Grey Mains.
I'm going to. I would like to not be part of going and taking her back. I'll hand the slave over to the captive. Sorry, someone else. I want to go down to the market. I have an idea.
Oh, so it's
Yeah.
just me and the captive.
So it is just you and the captive, yeah.
Yeah.
And as you head towards the... In fact, I'm kind of torn. I honestly forgot you had the captive, and people have probably raised a fair amount of... if you've taken her into the city, then people will have raised a lot of eyes. It's not unknown, but it's not super common to be wandering around with just someone gagged and bound on a rope.
Hey, no kink shaming.
More
Well,
like
that's-
captives, but... so... Yeah, we'll say you've got away with your bandit story so far, but as you approach the Greymane Manor, she sort of eyes it in not quite terror, but does not seem consenting to go inside.
She doesn't seem consenting to go anywhere we've taken her so far.
She's actually gone along with a lot of it, since you made it very clear that you were totally willing to feed her to a tiger. But fortunately, the tiger's not here right now. A tiger with an, at best, loose understanding of biology.
And thumbs. Which I suppose falls under biology.
I wouldn't call it at best loose.
It's a subset.
Anatomy.
Stand by. He thought he could strategically paralyze someone by ripping their spine into.
Yeah, that works. If they don't bleed to
You're
death
being
first.
disingenuous now, young Nicholas, but at the time you Nope, I'm not getting involved. So, Revere, what do? You've got the captive in one arm, and she's putting up a little bit of a fight, resisting without getting super punchy back at you, because I think she's still bound up. And you're trying to work your way over to the Greymane residence. When you see someone come whistling down the road towards you, it's, I think you've seen them around. It is...
Oh no.
If I can
It's not that
find the
Kid
bloody
guy who
thing.
constantly goes on about the Cloud District, is it?
Oh no.
It's not the sun who's come back.
We have a colourful cast of characters in Whiterun. It could be one of several people.
To
No,
clarify,
it won't
when
be the
you say
sun. We killed
whistling,
the sun.
I'm saying no.
It is wearing the same mask as always,
Yes!
Athis the Dunmer.
Feckin' hell.
He strides up to you, looks you and the captive up and down.
I'm sorry? No. No, I don't have the time.
He's looking right at the captive right now. The
Oh,
captive,
her!
The captive is likewise looking pretty much as bewildered as you and looks at you for direction.
Oh, her! No, she's a bandit that, I was out in the country and captured.
Athis swings his head right at you.
Look, Athis, we really need to talk about the mask. Okay, well, yeah, if you don't mind, I'll be heading off now. I think we've had enough time together.
Athis puts his
Good
hand
catch up, though.
right on his hips.
I kind of make to grab the captive by like the crook of the arm and just kind of start moving her away.
She kind of goes with you, looking back in utter confusion at Athis. He says,
and this is over
addressing
when
the
we get a
captive.
translation.
I assure you, I'm giving him actual sentences. He's even being quite
Excellent.
helpful, but I don't remember what he's supposed to be saying after the fact. Especially not the episodes where I've been doing the Athis voice and I've had a drink beforehand.
Yeah. Would have been so much
He's a
easier if I just hadn't
mysterious
broken
man.
his face.
I can.
You sounded like this before. It's the mask and the Dunmer accent.
I don't think the broken face is helping.
No, it's not. And
Can
so,
I just sort of lean into Captain's ear? I can't even remember her name.
Lorenia Tullius.
Lorenia Tullius, and just say like, "Look, I know you might be a traitor and the worst part of everything in Skyrim, but at least I can fucking understand what you're saying."
She sort of blinks back at you through the gag.
My thoughts exactly.
Slightly sarcastic blinks. From a nearby wall, Nazeem stares vacantly off into the distance. Looks at the both of you, gives you a little wave, then goes back off to staring. Someday I hope to make it to the Cloud District of the Skies.
Is he okay?
No.
Oh, the Upper Cloud District.
I've been there.
We'll all go to the Great Cloud District in the sky.
I quite like sort of flowers for Algernon, Nazeem. Oh dear. So, I think we probably need a strength test to try and wrestle Lorenia over towards the Greymane residence.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll take a flat strength.
Yeah, that's fine by me. By the way, I've got a wrestler skill or a grapple skill. I don't know if that might count.
Let's take a look at your sheet.
When the character passes a characteristic or skill test made to grapple, restrain, or entangle their opponent, they can choose to take the number of degrees of success that they rolled, or take a number equal to their combat style skill rank. Okay.
Oh, cool. So you could basically modify your degrees of success to...
Cool. Okay,
what it sounded like.
But I do need to succeed at first.
You need to actually pass it, but if
Fair
you do
enough.
pass it, you can reliably pass it quite well.
Cool. Hey.
Yeah, no, Lorenia's doing her best to resist you, but she's not had much since that spicy porridge, and that gave her the runs on the way back, and then she had to walk 3
That was
days.
like 6 days ago.
That was 3 days ago. It was 3 days
Sorry, that was 3 days ago.
We want to keep the prisoner weak.
Well, you've been doing that, yeah, definitely.
She hasn't eaten in 3 days. Like, fuck.
Which is bad, because you had spicy porridge on the way back. Oh, dear.
Spicy porridge? Spicy porridge? Awesome, that spicy porridge.
Ollie, you were a mistake. So...
Well, only my parents can say that to me.
and
At least he knows he is.
And they do
stand
frequently.
by the statement, Ollie, as your mother.
Yeah, you're the
I'm
reason
so
I'm so
confused.
fucked up. If you're my mother, that explains an awful
I
lot.
was never there for you as a child. Because
Yeah,
you
you were
sucked.
barely there for me.
And I stand by that too. So, outside the house is Urland Greymane, sat in his familiar rocking chair, looking rather ornery and old, which is a very strong aesthetic to convey as a Nord. His eyes squint through the midday sunlight as he sees Revere approaching, Lorenia Tullius in tow. They widen. He rushes to his feet, then to the door, throws it open and gestures wildly. In here. Quietly, calmly, bring her in.
Even though I've been an adult legally for several years now, I still want to pursue emancipation against yourself, Ewan.
I feel like the moment for that came and went, Ollie.
It did, but I also had it in my
The
head.
legal and socially snappy senses of the phrase.
Like, only several. Like,
They delayed it for Ollie.
Yeah, I was, I was 10 years old 3 times, and I was held back 3 times.
Not how that works. Just because you couldn't count past 10.
And never
Pace,
mind.
Ewan, pace.
I, for one, am glad that Erik got work after this campaign. So, yes. Urland Greymane ushers you into Greymane Manor, staring wide-eyed. I'm a man of reasonable and honourable politics, Master Khajiit, he says, quietly swinging the door shut behind him. And I recognise Lorenia Tullius where I sees her.
Why did you bring in the prisoner?
What I want to know is why you've brought her here.
Well,
In broad
Yes.
daylight. Stopping to have a conversation along the way.
now this may come as a bit of a surprise, but I'd honestly forgotten that we had her for long stretches of the journey.
Urland, for whatever reason, looks at Lorenia. Lorenia kind of looks back at him and shrugs.
You see, when you have a captive for long enough, they become more part of the furniture than than a living human Imperial being. Or a piece of equipment you sling along.
Urlin turns to Lorenia. I'm sorry about this, my love. He goes to a nearby drawer, retrieves a piece of jewellery, and clips it round her neck. She immediately freezes. And he quietly rotates her frozen body, and then from a nearby candle gets 2 sort of gobbets of wax and shoves them in her ears. Right, that should keep her secure, and I'm not going to say you didn't fuck up, but we've got her now at least, and that's actually something. Don't know how or why you've captured Lorenia Tullius, but that's a solid act. And the Battleborn boy?
Oh, he's long gone. He's dead.
4 days ago.
More than 4 days.
He's a smear.
Ah, good. Well, I think you've earned a meeting with my local Stormcloak contact, and I think you're gonna like this. He takes
go on.
the rope out of your hands and uses it to start tying up Lorenia. This is good silk rope, this, actually. I wouldn't have expected you to have anything like this. Alright. Now, follow me. He leads you through the winding manse, up a set of stairs, towards the attic. As he approaches it, he raps 3 times on the door, and then calls out, "My lord, we have a guest for you." For a moment there's utter silence.
Prepare for squee.
And then,
Because we know.
within the attic, you hear a slightly familiar voice. "Approach."
Oh, are you going to do that voice? How long are you going to keep that voice up?
Not long.
You've committed to it now.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a go, but there's like a solid 90% of the entire cast is the exact same West Country voice.
Very true. You're channeling your Bethesda voice actors.
What, all 6 of them?
All 6 of them.
Hey, credit to those voice actors, they do a really good job with the insane amount of text they...
6 of them, and also Patrick Stewart that one time.
Oh, yeah.
Sean Bean was in that game as well.
Here's your script, Patrick. And here...
Yeah, but that's the thing is, Patrick Stewart was in that game for how long? They got Patrick goddamn Stewart for how long in that game?
Yeah, not long, but you know. Anywho.
For as long as they could afford him.
So, the ladder to the attic comes down, surprisingly undusty, and Urland ushers you upstairs. As you climb, your eyes adjust pretty much automatically to the gloom, and you find yourself confronted with a not stripped entirely naked, but sort of bare-chested Ulfric Stormcloak.
I mean, I knew who it was going to be, but...
The knights who say squee.
The knights who say squee.
His eyes narrow. "I recognize you. You were at Helgate."
Oh my Talos. It's really you.
Eyes shoot up again. "Rare to meet a Khajiit who worships the ninth divine."
Oh, all my life, all my life, all my life. Can I ask you, Mr. Ulfric? Can I ask you one thing?
He cocks his head at you, unsure. "What?"
Can I touch you? Just to know you're real?
Just not in the no-no place.
Just not in the no-no place.
I can't stop picturing it, but like, Always Sunny, Mac and his dad.
Yeah.
No.
Oh. Well, it's good to meet you anyway.
Never meet the heroes.
Meet
They
you
may not
anyway.
happen.
Yorland. What is this?
Yorland pipes up from down the stairs. He murdered the Battleborn boy and brought us Lorenia Tullius as a prisoner, my lord. I believe he and his several of his friends wanted to join the Stormcloaks, and I think they might be the key to getting you out of the city. Ulfric looks generally very surprised.
So, you wish to join my army?
More than anything in my whole wide world life. You know, Mr. Stormcloak? I've always considered myself a true son of Skyrim.
Well, in that case...
And I think that's probably a very good spot to end it for them.
Ah!
You fucking cockty.
Well, what were you getting out of that little segment there? Just for clarity.
I'm only going with the theme established by Carl.
You know what, I'm not getting into that.
What are we getting? Arousal?
Reminders for next session. Does anyone have anything they want noted down?
So next session, I want to... does that mean we're doing 20 sessions rather than 10 sessions of Elder Scrolls?
Yeah, I think we're doing 20 sessions of Elder Scrolls.
Oh yeah, if we left it there.
Yeah, no, yeah, sorry. See you guys, you've got 1 week to find your cart. And Ulfric Slort next week. Get fucked. No, I think we're going to do
I feel like finding the cart more important than Ulfric Storm. What's his face? No. I need a reminder. So next week, I want to go to the market and hawk my services as a brilliant mechanic who can fix whatever needs fixing.
Services as a mechanic at the White Run Market / make money somehow.
I have the tagline, I have aeons of experience, and nobody will know I'm not actually kidding, but also kind of am.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't have, like, your personal timeline.
In my personal timeline, I don't, but in everyone else's timeline, like, I technically,
No, I mean, in everyone else's timeline, because you weren't
I know, I'm trying to figure out a way. Basically, I'm still going to say it, and there's nothing you can do that will say that will stop me.
No, you can say it, you're just wrong.
I mean, yes.
I don't even know if you're particularly old for an elf, so I don't think you have that much more experience than, like, Vignar does.
I don't think I actually have. I'm just more probably technically, I have more technical acumen, but in terms of just knowing more shit about stuff, I suppose.
Yeah, you're in different but related fields. But
yeah.
Because remember, Elder Scrolls elves still only live for, like, 120 to 210-ish years, I want to say. It's not... They're old. They get old, but they don't get super old.
I don't know how old I am. I don't think I ever decided my age. It's like
Assuming that you're, like...
40s.
Yeah, so 30s to 40s equivalent. You, as an elf, could be anywhere up to, like, 60s to 80s. So you're actually probably, age-wise, either around Vignar's age or not much older than him. Mentally, it's very different stages of your life cycles, because he's an old man and you're still quite, like, not even middle-aged for an elf. You're, like, young going on middle-aged for an elf. It's Hobbit rules. Cool. Any other reminders for next week?
Khajiit are owed a quest hand in.
From the not Dragonborn.
Still need to buy an alchemy set and to get my rope back.
Lord, Jomo wants to buy an alchemy set. Jomo wants his rope back from Ravir. Anything else?
We have a villager NPC, young Erik.
Erik, the Slayer, the Witness, is
The soon-to-be dead.
party.
Boots.
I'm not putting down just boots without good reason. I'm probably going to note that Ravir was about to be accepted / rejected by the Stormcloaks. Ulfric may want help to leave White Run. Anyone else have any reminders for next week?
Erik needs a better weapon than a fruit knife.
Oh, yeah. Not your brain.
Sorry.
I still hold the. Oh, sorry, Ali.
No. Sorry, I accidentally just played a music clip. You go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I was just going to say that I still find it amusing that you can play the whole of Skyrim with a fork.
Yes.
Fork of Horolopation, baby. Any other reminders? Nope. Cool. In that case, feedback. Anything you liked, anything you disliked, anything you'd like to see more of or less of next time.
Oh my god.
I have some feedback. So it's kind of two things. One, I didn't feel very massively engaged with this session, and I don't know if that's just my normal inattention, but I think like some areas were a little draggy more than normal. Like we spent quite a long time in the pub at the beginning, and that's sort of like that. It seemed like there could have been areas that were maybe could have been a bit streamlined. And the second one is, and there's no way not to put this awkwardly, I suppose, is sometimes yourself and Benji get into these long conversations, which are fine because they're about the history. You guys are talking history and politics of Skyrim, but they personally, I don't know if other people feel this way. They can kind of be exclusionary to the rest of the group.
I was going to say
I
that
do
as well.
kind of feel
yeah.
the same. Yeah.
I think
It's kind of why I
That's
put myself
fair,
off I put myself off into the market with Erik because I thought, you know what, I've done far too much this session. I'm just gonna go off to one side here.
I think those are both very valid pieces of feedback. I think on the first one, I basically should have cut you all off with the. We were having fun dicking around, and I should have politely cut it a bit earlier than I did, basically. And on the second one, what I would say is what I felt was a really good thing was yourself coming in partway through one of those conversations and going like, "Hey, can we move on from this because we're just going around in circles?" And I would like to assuming you don't object, Benji, throw the floor open to people in general of, I'll try and keep on top of those a bit more in the future, but if people feel like we're just getting into circular conversations with just two people talking heads at each other.
Entirely. Say it.
Yeah.
Because, again, it shouldn't...
Cool.
I feel bad when it gets to the point where I have to put myself in timeout deliberately. It's like, no, someone else. Someone else.
So everyone feel comfortable calling pace, including on narrative segments that feel like they're dragging a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good to me.
Cool. Okay. Well, thank you again, Ollie, for the feedback, and thank you for calling the pace earlier. It was definitely appreciated. Any other feedback?
I like the town of dumbfuck yokels. Like that was just painful, but in an entertaining way. It hurt me so much inside. No, I've got no idea what you mean. Really? It was a fucking no clue.
Yeah, they weren't supposed to be dumb fucks initially, and then I thought calling him Old Uncle Ursus would be kind of funny at the end of last session. And your outrage just kept egging me on to fresh heights, basically, which is why he ended up living his horrible life as a werebear on the edge of Rorikstead, desperately trying to die, but completely unable to convince the villagers of what he meant. So I'm glad that was fun. And I personally think that ended up being a weirdly strong character arc compared to just, there's a monster.
It worked out. After it turned out, he was a school teacher and the only guy who could read and write in the entire village, we all felt a little bad.
And he sent his own suicide note, basically.
Yeah. Well, you know what they say about Rorikstead, and you know what they say about Helgen.
We've probably, slashed their economic ability in at least half.
It's irrecoverable at this point.
Sorry, so on the letters thing, that's because that was toot my own horn. Boop, boop. That's a reference to Rorikstead having two founding dates, and one of them's 10 years before Skyrim started, and the other one's in the early Second Era, and both of those are vaguely canon.
Rorikstead has some of the most bizarre contradictory lore there is.
Completely fucked.
And
so,
the whole we've mentioned before, but there's a character called Rorik,
yes,
and people assume that he must be thousands of years old.
So as
not
we
just
all know,
named after the town.
It's very clear that what happened is Rorikstead had a perfectly clear history, but it was burnt in a tragic fire, and now no one really knows what happened with Rorikstead. Cool. Any other feedback?
I like how one fire and maybe 2 weeks of travel time before the Dragonborn gets there, and we have no idea what the history is anymore. We lost the only guy who could read and write.
Yeah, I guess we were found at any time between last week and the Second Era.
It's gone, mate.
Oh dear. Any other feedback? Carl, you going to say something a second ago?
Yeah, what was the name of the woman who was the werewolf that you're handing in the werebear quest to? It's like, fucking, where's...
Ayla.
Ayla, that's it, yeah. I thought that's sort of awkward trying to cover it up, because I don't think at the actual point in the game she's aware.
No, you don't. That is an inner circle thing. The majority of the companions aren't even werebeasts. Anyone who's considered untrustworthy or who otherwise shows themselves to be super unsuitable for that is permanently stuck outside the inner circle and will never be initiated, or just isn't let in to begin with.
It's just a nice sort of meta nod.
I'm glad. Cool. Narrative questions. Is there anything anyone was narratively unsure of in that session?
I didn't quite follow the session, so I'm not entirely sure what's happened apart from we did finish the quest. We've finished most of the quests, and it seems like that's all good and done now, and we need to do one more thing for the companions before they let us become companions.
Well, we had a quest from companions to kill a bear. We killed a bear. We also wanted to kill Battleborn to get in the Stormcloaks. We did that. We also brought the prisoner with us, who it turns out probably would let us join the Stormcloaks anyway, I imagine. So we're double joining the Stormcloaks, and the companions like us.
I mean, do the companions like you?
Well,
set of initiation.
They might be trying to kill us with another quest. But
I'm sure that's just paranoia. Cool. I actually have a narrative question for you all, because I don't remember being this heavy-handed about hinting it. When did you... Because everyone seemed to know this session, and I feel like you've been completely oblivious the last two sessions, even though I promise you this has been the plan from the beginning, and I'm almost confused that you zeroed in on it. When did you all work out that Ulfric was still within Whiterun?
About 10 seconds before you revealed him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, granted, it was this session, but it was very much, I'm going to get you to meet someone who is related to the Stormcloaks, and there is only one person, that it could possibly be.
I had no idea, because I've never done that quest line, so I had no idea.
That's not in the game. He goes straight to Windhelm in the games, but he got stuck.
So I had no idea.
It was telegraphed in a few other places, but not super heavily because I wanted it to be a surprise. And fuck the reveal at the last bit. But yeah, I've been weirdly impressed that you, against all odds, zeroed in on let's find a Stormcloak contact, and then spoke to the one guy who would put you in contact with Ulfric himself, and have actually kept pretty much to focus on that quest. Cool,
and now it's all paying off.
Well, now you get to keep focused on the quest. Now you lured a young man out of the walls and murdered him brutally. It wasn't.
Yeah, but you didn't get distracted doing it.
Exactly. That's focus.
We're efficient murderers.
I have low standards. Do you have any other narrative questions for that session?
Just matey saying that we couldn't understand.
Athis. That's actually plot spoilers. I promise you, he is saying actual words, and what's it called?
I know who the Dragonborn is. They're not really extinct.
Well, he's not a Nord. He's a Dunmer, and I think he's even from Morrowind. Or maybe he's not. I'm not sure. I don't think he actually has any backstory. I think he's bland as all shit. But Athis does not sound like a super Nordic name to me, so I'm assuming he's from Morrowind. Things. Yes. So the rule with Athis is I'm not giving you roles to understand what he said unless it's super amazingly plot critical rather than maybe just potentially plot relevant. But if you do think you've figured out what he said at any one moment, you may consider that to be in-character knowledge, because I think the first session we had him, Callum could hear some of his insults at the very least, when he's calling people Outlander and Inwar and Milk Drinker and such. So he was saying actual sentences to you, but muffled through the microphone and the back of my throat without using my lips. and my hands as well.
Yeah, this time I didn't get it. I didn't get any part of it.
He was having a full conversation.
Oh, my condolences.
That's the life of Athos. My condolences. So, let's do some XP. Plot progression. Does anyone feel like you all made significant plot progression this session?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 quest hand-ins, I think that, and meeting Ulfric Stormcloak.
What was the third quest hand-in?
Hunting their bear jamboree as part of a quest.
The killing the bear hand-in, the prisoner hand-in, which isn't really a quest, this is a...
Yeah, that's just a kidnapping.
I feel that was still progress. We're finally getting her off our hands in a plot direction, and also the we handed in, as it were, the kill the battle-born child or great man or whatever he was.
Fair. Oh, don't mean to delete the XP. I mean to give the XP.
We also destroyed all of Rorikstead's history.
I mean, really, when a town relies, when a town's entire history is destroyed in a single fire, in a small fire that wasn't even a library, but just one guy's home, I mean, I have very little sympathy.
Are you victim blaming the town of Rorikstead for you unnecessarily burning down that house?
I'm blaming the fact that they let one guy have their entire history.
I mean, 3 words, Library of Alexandria.
Exactly, they should learn to make backups.
Yeah, exactly.
Character development. Does anyone feel like they developed their character this session?
I feel like I developed my love of spicy porridge.
I don't even know if you did.
I
feel like I developed my love of Ulfric Stormcloak's pecs.
No, see, I agree with that, because he got to meet his childhood hero.
Yeah, it's like
Have
meeting
a
Santa.
full-on conversation with him.
I hate to say it, but I think young Nicholas has netted you there. Cool. Any other character development for that session? Anyone feel like they got anywhere?
I think I'm solidifying myself as a quest giver for the Knocked Over King. I think this is the 2nd or 3rd quest I've given him, or helped out with. I'm becoming proper Khajiit NPC.
He is becoming... Was it Maya the Liar? Who is it sang the liar?
Maik the Liar.
Mike.
Maik
That's it,
doesn't
Maik.
give you quests. You can't just name the only... Nope, I'm not doing it. Jomo becoming true NPC. Stepping on the turf there, Carl. Cool, and
Why you
finally...
gonna bite me?
Excellent, bring it, I am your GM. Excellence of role-playing. Does anyone feel like anyone else role-played particularly well this session?
I think Callum did amazingly when he was talking to Ulfric and so forth.
He was the knight who says squee.
He was. That was very good.
It's the fucking 3rd time you've made that joke, Benji. That specific joke about
It's
this
not a
specific
joke.
situation.
No, Ben,
just a
it's not a
statement.
joke. It's not a joke at all.
Even though we had to call pace, I believe Benji's lore RP was very good.
I do-
Good Danny Arnaulf rounding up of the drunks.
I do regularly enjoy Arnaulf's occasional attempts to do the Darth Plagueis the Wise speech, and it almost never going particularly in his favour. Sorry, what did you say, Creed?
I said I also liked his Danny Arnaulf coming to the pub and picking up the drunk. Be like, yes, Skyrim's for the Lords. Let's go to bed.
I promised Bjorn I'd look after his boy, and I mean to.
Oh, that was a proper, you've had your fun now.
The problem is you can textually you can read the phrase Daddy Arnaulf picks up the drunks at the pub all sorts of ways.
In all the best ways.
Jomo's quest giving. That was a very good RP moment.
I'm sorry, how is that... Not meaning to snipe on Carl, because mechanically, stroke of genius, but... and in fact, you
It's more the pitch-perfect impression of the Khajiit has wears if you have coin.
I'll be lying if I said I wasn't practicing in the mirror with that.
I'm giving bonus XP for actually practicing the voice. Cool. One sec.
I would say that I found Ollie's drunk quite amusing.
Yeah, that's my next one.
Cool. Any other role-playing?
When you say Nord, I say Skyrim.
Revere, bullies, Nords. Cool.
Inspires Nords.
Yeah, gently inspires Nords to a more
Rouses.
positive life.
Yeah.
There's no double take with Callum's character. It's very straight into the point.
Okay, so I make that to be 175 experience points for session number 9. That's 20 points. That's 20 points for pot progression. Finishing the companion main quest. Yep, content done. Companion quest, initiation quest. Initiating your and ingratiating yourselves with the Stormcloaks. I can't speak in English. 20 points for character development, which is Revere meeting his childhood hero and Jomo becoming true NPC, plus 30 points for excellence of role-playing. That's Revere speaking to Ulfric, Arnaulf attempts to Darth Plagueis again, Daddy Arnaulf picks up the drunks at the pub, Jomo's Khajiit voice, drunk Yuhnbric, and Revere bullies the Nords. 5 points for Carl actually practicing his Khajiit voice in front of the mirror. That's very sweet. I do quite like that voice. Plus for standard 100 general.
So what was that in total, sorry?
175.
175, amazing.
Okay.
I'm back to round numbers!
Means it's time for everyone's favourite part of the session. It's the highlights. Let's do Creed. Do you have any highlights for that session?
Yes. Well done. I liked Uncle Ursus the Bear-Weab. All the fucking bear stuff everywhere, and his fucking bear waifu mounted up in this wedding ring.
Was that actually like...
Bear sign outside.
Was that meant to be like his wife, who was also a werebear, who he had killed?
It was his wife who was a regular bear, because she'd turn back to a human if she died as a bear.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
I didn't think it through. I put her up on the thing. I was like, haha, this will be the wife. And then Benji was going, but did anyone in the village go missing? Fuck, but she couldn't have been a person or she'd have a human head. Shit.
Imagine walking in and just seeing this guy's wife's head mounted on a fucking...
Like,
I mean, to him, he saw that every day, which is kind of terrifying.
Expertly wood burned into the placard. My wife, brackets dead, who was a werebear, like me.
Uncle Ursus,
no one can read.
The werebear.
Yeah, he's the only literate person in the entire village. No one else has
any other highlights?
The perfect crop.
So the quote from Carl, or probably paraphrase. Hey Erik, what kinds of boots you got?
I can't do commas. Fuck.
Just don't put one in there.
I think it works without the comma, really.
Yeah.
I am so viscerally disgusted with that statement.
It does work.
No, it does.
Ewan,
It is an
deep
audible
breath.
breath in a sentence. I'm sorry, I can take breaths. You're apparently not using commas. Any other highlights, Creed?
I've taken a breath in a sentence.
Ollie, do you have any, with no commas, please, do you have any, that's not sass at you, Creed, that's sass at Ollie. Do you have any highlights for that session?
I like the inexhaustible search for clues.
And here's I'd jokingly say signed confession, but I gave you a full diary as like clue number 1. And Benji there, we have to go deeper.
Like this session, I wasn't massively engaged, and even I was there. Like, that's a lot of clues.
I'm Put a little sign out front with a snarling bear on it.
I like Callum's drunk RP. Just terrifying those villagers.
Oh, it was glorious. I went in fully expecting a bar fight and it ended up better.
You put a knife on them. They were terrified. You came into town, murdered the local werebear / Sorry, Ollie, any other highlights?
Destroying the 1,000-year history of a town with one small fire. And one small murder.
Any other highlights?
No, that's me done.
Cool. Do you have any highlights for that session? Carl?
So power leveling crafting.
I don't quite get it. None of you did any crafting this session, but I'll note it down.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say Ewan's being wily again.
I've never been wily in my life.
He's a wily boy, that man.
I'm lacking in wiles. Any other highlights?
Trying to think, how do you mean wily in this situation?
Squirmy, but, emotionally and with everything.
Coyote.
Yeah, me and my squirmy emotions, Any other highlights, Carl?
If there's one way to describe it, it would be squirrely emotions.
The dub yokel could use words with 4 syllables.
You can use dumb and be words with 4 syllables.
Can you just put that? Can you put that?
Yeah, like the way you put it makes it sound better.
I like to think Ewan is the prime example
Use
of this.
dumb and be words with 4 syllables. I hate my life. Oh, would you believe they pay me to write things? Oh, any other highlights, Carl?
Square brackets, Ewan, quote, I hate my life.
I hate you too, Carl. Any other highlights?
There's one other. I'm just trying to think of a way to actually vocalize it or articulate it, so I'll come back to it at the end.
Cool. Callum, do you got any highlights for that session?
Erik the Slayer, the Witness.
I enjoy Erik the Slayer, the Witness.
May he live.
I'm sorry.
I believe that name has a comma in it.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Erik the Slayer, the Witness.
No.
Yeah, but
No,
that's
has
not
to
how
be
it's
all
pronounced.
one.
It's Erik the Slayer, the Witness. There's no comma.
It's all hyphenated.
It's not even hyphen. It's just one run-on.
Oh god, so it doesn't really sound like that. It just sounds like a barrage of consonants and vowels.
He's listing his titles, but he doesn't quite know how titles work, so he's
Yeah.
just saying them all at once.
Exactly. I'm now genuinely concerned if you know what a comma is, Nicholas. Oh god, my life.
Is that it in a sentence of the tale, right?
Yes, that is. But what does
Along
it
with several
mean?
other things.
Don't
It's
take
what
this from him. Any other highlights, Cal?
Following on from a previous session's highlights, we forgot the prisoner again.
To be fair, that's as much on me as anyone else. I need to put like a post-it note up or something. Don't forget the well, I suppose we've handed her over now. Do you have any other highlights?
Oh, and Nazeem, the great cloud district in the sky.
Yeah, I got to admit, it took me a moment to realise how dark that actually was.
Because I had him sitting on a bench, and I was going to have him wave hello to Lorenia, and then I was like, I don't want to just murder Nazeem here and now, because Revere's not supervised. He'll just punch his face in and he'll be dead. And then I'll never get to use Nazeem again. So I had to have him stare off into the sky, and it was, oh, what's in the sky? Oh, he must be cloud watching, of course, obviously.
Who's name? I don't know him as a character.
Nazeem is the character from Skyrim who, no matter what you're like, you can be you can be a Thane of Whiterun, you can be the Harbinger of the Companion, you can be like top ranked in every possible thing, and he will still walk up to you in the Cloud District, or not even the Cloud District, in the Plains District of Whiterun, and go in the snootiest possible voice, his single line of major voice dialogue. Do you get to the Cloud District particularly often? Awful Nazeem impression. No, I don't suppose you do, and then just wander off. So that's all he does.
I don't think he ever goes to the Cloud District.
No, he doesn't. He just wanders around the Plains District, gatekeeping the Cloud District of people. Which is worse, because I'm pretty sure he sleeps in Whiterun, but his house is, like, outside the city walls.
So he's a massive poser.
He's so incredibly aggravating that before the creation kit released for Skyrim, the two most popular mods available, as I recall, which is totally empirical data, were the mod that replaced spiders with bears, very legitimate, and the mod that just removed his sound files from the game. So you remember this? Yeah, he'd walk up to you, go,
yes,
and then just walk away again, and it was such a drastic improvement. Cool. Any other highlight, Callum?
No, that's it for me.
Cool. Okay, who have we got left on the list? We've done Carl, we've done Creed, we've done Ollie. No, we haven't done Ollie. Ollie, do you have any highlights? Oh, we have done Ollie. Yes, never mind. You're very forgetful.
I mean, I'd take more highlights. GM's alright, I suppose. He smells a bit sometimes, verbally.
To be fair, I do smell. That's a very fair piece of feedback to give. It's all them...
It's all those cats in heat around you all the time.
I don't want to say it, but yeah, it's not a good smell to have, really, but I guess that's my ambient scent now. Rip my life. Okay. Jesus, that's so grim. Ollie, why? Benji, do you have any highlights for that session?
Everyone join the sing-along.
You want to be part of Skyrim?
Or else in square brackets, just so...
That's fair.
Any other highlights?
It's the most depressing sing-along in Skyrim history.
Have you gained money? No.
I can't do commas.
That wasn't a comma, that was a full stop. Fine, Yuhnbric is still poor.
Yuhnbric is still poor, that works.
What are
we'll train him
stops
one day.
Extended commas anyway.
No, Benji knows what these things are.
The molehills.
The classic tragedy of Benji, a complete theoretical understanding of the subject matter and a total failure to implement it in practice. He knows the directions left and right. He just can't tell you which one is which in a serious situation.
In a life and death situation.
Yeah, no, it's not a good idea. Any other highlights, Benji?
I killed a bear.
Arnaulf forgets Doinbar can't speak common.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I like that as your respectful treatment of him goes up, his respectful treatment of you, for some reason, goes down.
I don't get that! He starts hating me, and it's just like, I'm the only person calling him by his name. Even the other Khajiit aren't calling him by his name.
Like when I address him by name, usually do.
Usually do, yeah.
Any other highlights, Benji?
No, but I get it. You say that in Targra, but when you're talking to everyone else about him, you call him Catclop.
Yeah. Any other highlights, Benji?
Arnaulf fails to recognise screaming.
Which screaming?
Oh, the diary.
On the diary.
Oh, yeah.
This must have a deeper meaning.
Dear diary.
Because who writes that?
Someone who's extremely desperate. He wrote just screams for page after page. Oh, dear.
You know in the movie The Shining, there's a diary which just says, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy or whatever. And the director went through and wrote through the entire diary just that line over and over and over and over again. It's like a 300.
Kubrick was a
I was going to say it's Stanley Kubrick. That's Like, the
Don't-
least batshit thing he's done on any set.
Comma.
Not that it's not a cool piece of trivia, Ollie, but if you
Do another
look
take
up
and
his
get
other
us
stuff,
life.
your boy was nuts.
He was.
Cool. Any other highlights, Benji?
No, I think that's everything.
Cool. Young Nicholas, do you? We don't have any time for you this week.
See ya.
Yeah, bye, young Nicholas. No, do you have any highlights for that session, young Nicholas? No, I'm
Can I
joking. We
touch
don't have
you?
any time. Sorry, do carry on.
Can I touch you?
Is that a question to Ewan, a question to us, or a question?
I'm so lonely.
I mulled it over for a moment, having this weird, and then Revere puts his hand on Ulfric Stormcloak's heart. No.
I do but
Suddenly appear every time you throw dear.
I'll always
Just
think of
like
Simpsons with
me.
that song.
They long to be free of elves. Anywho,
We'll always have Helgen.
I'd watch Casablanca, but it's Helgen with the Thalmor. Do you have any other highlights here, Nicholas?
Skyrim is for the Thalmor.
Any other highlights?
I have a quest for you.
Almost sounds like an advance, doesn't it?
Any other highlights here, Nicholas?
No, that's it.
Cool. I've got one highlight, which I absolutely didn't think of, but I'm super glad that Carl... Was it Carl or your Nicholas who remembered that there was a letter sent from Rorikstead about the
Me.
mayor?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was Nick.
Okay, so yeah, credit to your Nicholas, because I did not plan that at all, but I really love the idea of this aging werebear driven slowly mad by being surrounded by idiots arranging for his own death.
It's kind of a miracle that the suicide letter he sent himself also didn't contain screaming.
I had to step in and stop the roleplay and I had to ask the question. I was so thoroughly confused.
Old Uncle Ursus takes out a kill quest on himself, I guess, unless anyone can think of a
Is
better way to
that
phrase
like
it.
the Skyrim equivalent of suicide by cop?
Kinda, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's a little
pretty
bit what I
much,
was
yeah.
thinking. Oh, dear. Cool.
I do have one more. I
sure.
couldn't find a better way of wording it for the intention I was going for, but buried Khajiit-deep in furry rug.
Tiny Cat Mountain?
We're
In a Tanakat mountain.
One's a lot less open to interpretation. And
I like the one that's
okay
open
with
to
that.
interpretation. I vote for an open to interpretation one.
What's your preference, Carl?
As much open interpretation as possible.
Cool. What was your wording in that case? I'm sorry, Benji. I liked it.
I mean, it was a good one. Actually, it is more appropriate for what it is. But yeah, buried Khajiit-deep in furry rug.
Oh god, yeah, that could be much more.
Khajiit-deep is such a variable measurement. Cool. Thank you all for a very entertaining session number 10. The official midpoint of the campaign. I promise you will be over by session 20. We're getting one extension.
Session
no more.
24.
No, one extension, no more. Come hell or high water. If I have to have Alduin drop the cart onto one of you,
And then we kill him.
I don't think that... Nope, you know what? I'm not engaging. Cool. I'll see everybody next week. Does anyone have any final words for the recording?
Skyrim for the Thalmor.